Hello, friends! Happy Friday! I am so excited to hang out with you guys today. We'll be starting in just one sec. Hello, Greg! Welcome! What is up? Just getting things set up real quick and we will go ahead and get started. Hey, what's up? Happy Friday! I am honestly super excited about the new schedule. I think Friday nights make way more sense for us. What's up, Greg? So good to see you. William, what is up, dude? How is everything? Are you still in Colorado? Are you still working on your properties? Tell me all about it. Ghost Wolf, what is up? So good to see you guys. Okay, so you almost died today. What do you mean? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to hear from you before I move on too far, because that is crazy to hear. I hope not actually, but regardless, you're here and I'm so happy about that. But please, yeah, let me know what is going on, my friend. Yeah, that is crazy. Well, it is such a blessing that you're here and all of you. I rolled my car like 4 times on some hill at like 55 miles per hour. Oh my god. That is so scary. Oh my god. I'm so glad you're okay. That is really scary. That is like my one of my biggest fears with driving is just in like unfair weather conditions, especially with still being pretty new to driving, especially out here, you know? Like, oh my gosh, I am terrified of like the rain or ice on the roads. And so I'm so glad that you're okay. Are you beat up at all? Are you like are you good? I just want to make sure that you're all good, dude. I'm so glad that you're here. Dude, I walked away without a scratch. My mind's just frazzled. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, well, you're obviously being protected. Thank God. There's been so many times where, like, I've almost, like, tripped and fell down my stairs and somehow, like, caught myself last second or something. And I'm like, okay, someone was, someone was making sure that I didn't just, like, fall to my death. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, yeah, that is so scary. Thank you so much for being here and letting us know that you're okay. You've been a part of the community for a long time, so it's so good to see you every single time you show up. Definitely stay in touch, dude. I know that you're probably so busy, but definitely know that you're always welcome here. I don't know if you're in the Telegram chat still, but anytime you want to come hang out and chill in there or something, please, you're always welcome. We love you. Yeah, dude. Okay, so um, for those of you who don't know, or maybe you're just joining and like, what's going on? We're switching the times that we stream. Before we were streaming like Monday afternoons, which I was just doing that for years, and so I just kind of got accustomed to doing Mondays. John, what's up? What is up? Look at all my blue cups. We're covered in blue. We are ready to go. um, but yeah, we were doing Mondays, midday for years, and it just felt like it was time to switch it up. And I kind of got this idea with talking to the community of doing more fun streams late night on Fridays. That makes the most sense because a lot of people will be able to hang out, you know, and it's not like the middle of the day on a Monday. I'm very excited to switch things up. But every stream is gonna probably be different, especially as we figure out how to set up our space. I'm sure I'll be streaming everywhere, like all over my house. I plan to stream from my bed in my pajamas sometimes and literally make it like a super cool slumber party type vibe where we just talk everything about dreams. We do guided meditations, breath work, we share our dreams, tips, tools, techniques, all of that type of stuff. And I think it'll just be more playful, random stuff. Like someone in the community, I don't know if he's here right now, Joey, just got into poi spinning. And I love voice spinning. I've been spinning for about a year. And so we talked about me doing a little light show for you guys too today. Now, with this, I am testing out some new equipment so I can actually stream on my phone so I'm streaming on a streaming software right now from my computer. And I downloaded an app which allows me to connect this software to my phone, so I will be able to switch my camera to my phone from here and basically go anywhere around the house. The only thing with that is that it is on a wireless connection. So we're going to test that out today. We're going to see how bad it is. I did a little bit of test earlier. It seems like some areas it's mostly the audio. Because it's on Wi-Fi, my voice may be choppy in some areas of the house. Really, what I need you guys to do is just let me know when there's major like audio issues and stuff like that. I'm gonna have the chat on the TV downstairs so I can see what you guys are saying, because when the app's up on my phone, I can't read chat. So this is basically just gonna be a test, a trial run, if you will, to test out this app thingy and see if we can get good reception downstairs. Because yeah, I have a whole house I want to hang out with you guys in, you know? And I don't want to be just stuck to the room. I think this will be way more fun this way. Regardless if it works or not, I have some other plans and ways that we can make it work. But yeah, we're going to be doing that in a couple minutes. I'm going to switch to my camera on my phone. I'm going to take you guys with me downstairs, set it up down there, and then you guys are just going to let me know how it sounds. And if it's listenable. But yeah. Okay, let me catch up. Eating chocolate-covered blueberries. Yes, it counts, John. I like Fridays. This works well for me. Perfect. Yeah, it works well. I think better for most people, especially me too. I think it will be the perfect way to kind of like close out the week, and then we'll be able to practice the shit that we talk about on the stream instead of having to go through a whole work week, you know? So I think it will be better. Your birthday's tomorrow! William! Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna sing you happy birthday. I feel like I haven't seen you forever. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear William. Happy birthday to you. And you're alive, so congrats on that as well. But yes, happy birthday. We love you here. We're so happy to see you, and yes, I hope you like your little birthday tune. Okay, before we go downstairs. Oh shit, I didn't bring up my poi. Okay. I will say, John, I'm super scared to sing. Like, I sing more than I talk. I'm singing all day, every day, and I just barely learned how to like do covers and stuff on YouTube. I didn't know the licensing piece for like years, so I'm still trying to get through the fear of singing in front of anyone, and that was a little test for me also. But thank you. My big mug is saved. Oh, blessings to the mug gods. Thank you. John, I don't know if you've been here this long to know about the big ass mug lore, but I have a very huge tea mug, and it is very popular in the community, okay? And it's been around for some years. And because you're my tea friend, I'm gonna have to show you my tea mug if I haven't shown you already. It's literally like, I don't know how much it fits, maybe like half a gallon of tea. I don't know. Sometimes I eat soup in it. It's just the vibe. But anyways, I'll have to show you my mug if you haven't seen it. Thanks, William. I love you. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm so happy that you're safe. Thank you for letting me know I'm coming to hang out. Okay. So, I guess we'll try going downstairs now. I know. Oh, haven't seen. Okay, well, we'll see. We're gonna test it right now. Going downstairs. Let me make sure I have all my stuff. Basically what you're gonna see is the camera is gonna switch to the camera on my phone. And I'm gonna go downstairs because it's so choppy when I'm like moving around the house. I'm probably not gonna really talk too much until I get downstairs, set up my phone, and then I want you guys to let me know kind of what you're hearing, what's going on. Kim is cool. What's up, Kim? You are well. Thank you so much for joining the Dream family. My name is Haylee, and my entire brand is all about making your dreams come true by using Dreamwork. So the content is all around personal and spiritual development and becoming the best you and using the power of your subconscious mind and the power of your dreams to create the life of your dreams. So thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you being here. I don't know if Eric is here right now. Perhaps, Eric, if you're here, can you post the Telegram link? If not, no worries, bro. I got it. But I always like to tell everybody that's new to the community that we have a Telegram chat that is probably the best way to keep in contact with all of us. Here is the Telegram chat, and we are very active in there. You'll get updates on the stream, when I'm going live, and the community just stays really close outside of the streams through that chat. So feel free to join. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for teaching me about lucid dreaming. I've had more lucid dreams after the birth of my daughter than in my whole life. Oh, and that's so cool because once you learn how to lucid dream, like everybody can lucid dream. If you sleep, you dream, and if you're dreaming, especially remember your dreams already, you can definitely turn those into lucid dreams. And once your brain really knows how to create lucidity within an unconscious state, it happens spontaneously. So if you've already had some lucid dreams under your belt, you're on the right track already. Okay, guys, a wireless repeater might be needed. Just don't overuse that. Okay, well, let's test this out. I'm gonna. Okay. I've never done this before. So, we're just gonna see what's up, okay? Alright, I'm gonna take everything downstairs with me. Oh! Do you guys like my sloths? I felt like it was necessary. Show you that before we move on. I mean, come on, we obviously have to see the sloth slippers. Okay, anyway. I digress. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. You guys ready? Let's see what happens. Okay. Now the audio should be a little bit better because both mics aren't going. Now let's head downstairs and just see what happens. Okay? I'll let you guys know once we're situated. I might need to come back for my drinks. Okay. Okay. I have to turn this on to see the comments. 1 second. Okay. I want you guys hear. If it sounds if it sounds horrible. The audio was not great here last time. So let me know what it sounds like and if it's okay. If it's okay, we will proceed in this spot. Okay, cool. Sounds fine. Cool. Let me know anytime that changes. I also have my poi over there, so I wanted to give you guys a tiny little light show. Minimal static skippy. Okay. That's how it was down here before. If it's bad enough, let me know. Because it was really annoying before, the little skips. So we're just gonna give it a, okay, slight static. Okay. Okay. Now tell me what it's like. Is it okay? 8 out of 10? Okay. I'm watching your comments over here. I'm gonna turn the light off and I'm gonna spin this for a second. We'll just keep testing the audio. It's better I think it is better over here. That's what I'm thinking. Is it too light for this? All right, don't mind me. We're still gonna do our topics. I just have someone in the community who is learning how to poi spin and I wanted to show you guys a couple things. Okay. So, I really want you guys to see more. Can you guys see that? Oh, that's cool. Woo! Got a little bit better since last time. If you break vases, no blueberries for a month? Well, is that blueberries from you or any blueberries? Because I have a blueberry plant. Okay. Okay. So, before we get into random nonsense, if there's anyone who's interested in spinning poi, first of all, Joey, you're probably not watching this stream, but this is for you. Joey is a member in the Telegram, and he just barely got poi yesterday, and I wanted to show a couple things that helped me learn, and it might just be fun to watch. And then after we'll chat and do our topics. One thing that you guys let me know you wanted to talk about was the whole process and phases of what you experience before you have a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience, like the process from waking up and kind of what that looks like. If that is still what you guys want to talk about, let me know, or if you guys have specific questions. And Kim, I know this is your first live stream, so please let me know if there's any questions that you have, and I would love to answer them for you. Okay, I'll do this really quick, I promise, guys. So, you have two poi. You basically just want to get in the habit of swinging in like a figure eight, basically. And then you'll get in the habit of doing it with the other hand. And eventually, you'll be able to combine them. And I think that looks pretty cool. Once you're fancy, you can twist your arm around and do some different type weaves, which I think are fun. Each ball lies behind with yeah, it creates like a trail. Yeah. I think it looks cool. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to review the things I've learned so far. I'm just showing you guys my progress also because when you guys first saw me spin, I was very new and I could do like one thing, and this is kind of just an update to that. And also to show Joey a cool thing to start with. So just getting used to spinning your poi. And you're basically just doing a figure 8 and then training your other hand to do it. And they're always going to be opposite. So when one hand's up here, the other hand's down, and you can just, they're doing the exact same movements, but they're always going to be opposites, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all I wanted to really show you guys. Now, as far as the dream topic that we were talking about, we're always going to have at least one topic or focus for our streams. Now, is there anything you guys are going through in your dreams or out-of-body experience practice that you feel you're kind of stuck at? Like, is there any specific phase that you're stuck at? For me, especially when I first started, I would just feel like I was meditating for a billion years, and I just couldn't progress into deep enough relaxation. If that is something you guys experience, let me know, because I can't remember who recommended the topic today on the phases that we go through like the whole process of meditation. But I'm totally down to talk about that if you guys still want to. Let's see, what else can I do that looks cool? Let's see. I recently learned that. What else did I learn recently? I learned how to spin the poi backward, like, so I'll spin this way, but I'll be moving in a circle the opposite way. So it looks normal like this, but then backwards looks like that. And so what's cool is you can create sacred geometry through all of your poi moves. That's what I love about poi, is that it's a flow art, and it helps you get into flow. That's one reason why I love poi. But also, if you actually trace the lines of the poi, you'll see people making really amazing geometric poi flowers, and just like, I don't know, it like really such a cool state to get into. What was your progress like? And you're talking about with my lucid dreams and my out-of-body experience, induction, right, Kim? I just want to make sure that we're not talking about poi and that we're talking about my progress with inducing, like, dreams and out-of-body experiences. Let me see. Oh, I almost got it. Okay. So when I first started, I was very obsessed with dreams and out-of-body experiences, and I was spending most of the day like meditating. And I would wake up at like 4 in the morning usually, to do a technique, and that worked for a while, but eventually the more that I got used to waking up for techniques, they kind of stopped working for me. So if you're just getting into lucid dreams or out-of-body induction, I would try finding a time to practice entering REM sleep. That's just a very good habit to be in, because REM sleep really does help us so much with making sure that we are in the right state of sleep. It helps us be able to build our recall more, because if we are tracking our REM or waking up in our REM sleep, we'll really know how much we're dreaming anyways, and it helps you time when to wake up. If you can wake up during REM sleep, what is up, dude? I miss you too. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. If you can begin to time your REM sleep and wake yourself up during REM, that is the perfect time for techniques. So that is the perfect time to like meditate yourself back into sleep. And since you were in REM sleep when you woke up, it's almost like you're continuing REM sleep as soon as you go back to bed. It's like your body puts a pause on the sleep stage you were in, and you kind of enter that same state when you go back to sleep. And so if you can train yourself to practice staying awake while your body falls asleep, then you're going to be able to consciously witness your body fall asleep. And at that point, you're aware while your body is turned off, and that makes it so much easier to induce an out-of-body experience from that point, or to induce a lucid dream from that point. So one really amazing tip for anybody is to practice maintaining awareness on the edges of sleep. I swear to God, you will have the most incredible experiences just from that. For those of you who haven't heard of liminal dreaming, that's really what liminal dreaming is dreaming on the edges of sleep. It is where you are almost like half awake, half asleep, like maybe you're on a flight and you're like thinking, but your eyes are closed and you're starting to see colors and flashes of light. That's the liminal state. And you can train yourself to stay aware as your body falls asleep. And once you can do that, you get to experience tons of different states that you can go in, not just REM sleep. I have to meditate for an hour and a half to OB 30 minutes. What's a good way to get rid of disturbing or sad dreams? Okay, so I have to meditate for an hour and a half to be in an OBE in 30 minutes. So what I would try in that case is trying to find a time where you're more naturally relaxed, but not so tired enough that you'll fall asleep. So if you are meditating for an hour and a half to get to an OBE, that's still awesome. But there's probably times that you can play with to capitalize not only on the time in which you can induce it, but maybe the amount of focus you have. So an hour and a half to get into an OBE is awesome. But if you want to kind of play around with that timing a little bit, try waking up out of a nap. That's my favorite time, is to take a nap during the day, set my alarm for like 9 minutes or something, and then go back to sleep and meditate. Because sometimes if we wake up in the middle of the night, we're too tired because we don't have a full sleep cycle under our belt, and so you'll notice that you may just fall asleep super fast. What's cool about trying during the day when you have a nap is you already have had a full night of sleep under your belt. You are carrying yourself back into that deep relaxation, but you still have that awareness and focus that you've cultivated from having a whole night's sleep already. So I found that like naps, and like even during the day when I'm like watching something and I'm like falling asleep, sometimes I will feel sleep paralysis coming. I will feel like the tingling, and like obviously there's ways to stop it if you're not interested in doing that. But for me, I get so excited about it. I'm like, okay, oh my God, I feel it. I can't, I shouldn't swallow my spit. I shouldn't move. I shouldn't move my eyes. And it's just so exciting to me. So try naps. See what naps can do. For not only how vivid your experiences are, but how fast you can enter them. But whether it's for liminal dreaming, lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, I definitely recommend practicing mind awake, body asleep as often as you can, even as you fall asleep at night. Like, it's just interesting to see what your body is like when you're not fully aware, because that's the version of us that we know best, is like how we are when we're fully conscious. But how well do you know yourself when you're not conscious? How well do you know the phases that you go through and how they personally impact you during your sleep? I think it's really interesting to just, of course, just make the intention to fall asleep. You don't have to try to have an OBE as soon as you go to bed, and I wouldn't recommend that because you'd probably fall asleep anyway. But practice noticing when you go into a deeper state. Because when you first lay down, you're pretty fully conscious. Probably after a few deep breaths, you notice that your body is more relaxed. After some time of like thinking and just relaxing, maybe you'll notice that your thoughts start to kind of quiet down a little bit. Then you may notice some visual colors, flashes of light, stuff like that. Eventually your thoughts may be a little bit confusing, that don't really make sense, and that shows that you're starting to enter a deeper state than just your full conscious awareness, if that makes sense. And then you'll notice your body temperature drop, your physical body get heavier, you'll notice weird, random auditory sounds, or thinking you heard music, or just like random stuff. And this is really literally because your consciousness is shifting into a deeper state. What's up, Shelby? Thanks for joining. But it's cool to be able to witness what you go through, because it's slightly different for everybody. But I would definitely just get in the hang of noticing as you're falling asleep, kind of what's happening, because this is really going to help you with understanding when you're close to a specific stage. For example, like after some practice, I noticed right before I entered sleep paralysis, I would get a wave of cold chills. And that is because our temperature drops when we are sleeping. And so eventually I was able to witness that. And I felt that before I found out that our body temperature drops. I mean, I assumed, but like to be able to experience it as like one wave of cold chills down your body and be like, okay, sleep paralysis is on its way. Like, it's very helpful for this type of work. So really what you're doing is you're just getting very aware of your process that you go through. What you're like consciously aware, what you are like in your dreams. That dream self is still a version of you, so we can learn so much from that version of ourselves. But also physically what it feels like to go through that process. Now, Greg, I want to answer your question, because you talked about how to work with more negative dreams or like nightmare type stuff. Let me do a little quick spin. A little 360. Okay, I'm ready. Also, I'm a puppy cup. Oh, you guys want to see my big mug that I'm telling everyone about? Okay, oh my god, I almost dropped it at the table. Okay, let me get it. 1 sec. Wow. How much tea can I fit in here? Or soup. I've also made a mug cake in here. Pretty cool. You know how to astral project? Yes, absolutely. That's like one of my main obsessions on this channel. And I actually have a whole playlist for astral projection if there's anybody new here that wants to check that out. Okay. But kind of what I was saying before, if you were here a couple minutes ago, with mind awake, body asleep, watch my videos on lucid dreaming, or not lucid dreaming, liminal dreaming. That's going to help you a lot with out-of-body experiences, because it's so focused on like mind awake, body asleep, being able to consciously witness the phases that we go through, from consciously aware, light relaxation, light sleep, like really being able to carry yourself into relaxation without sacrificing your awareness. Not only is that like more than half the game, it is your key to all of the experiences that we talk about on this channel. Being able to deepen your relaxation and carry yourself into a deep relaxation and sleep while you stay consciously aware. Now, one way to practice that is like we were talking about just before bed every single night. If you're not someone who, like, if you stay awake, like you'll just stay awake all night, obviously like work with how you are as a person, but just getting in the hang of noticing when you fall asleep or getting close to that is going to change your entire practice, because you could just wake up in REM sleep and do that exact technique and get out. That's not a mug, that's a picture. I mean, same thing. Okay, sounds good. I'm about them now. I've done it a few times. I want to be more proficient at it. Okay. So the main things that I would recommend for you, again, liminal dreaming, that is literally how it is the practice of learning to maintain your awareness into sleep and on the edges of sleep. That is ability 100% going to help you induce sleep paralysis consciously. It's going to allow you to meditate yourself into an out-of-body experience or a lucid dream from meditation. And you can have spontaneous experiences once you really start to explore these. Like, you won't have to try, every single time to have an experience. Another thing is to remember that when we're out astral projecting, we are using our energy body. And so we really need to be conscious of our energy. How stressed are you? How overwhelmed are you? How big of a meal did you eat right before you're trying this technique? How clean energetically is the space that you're trying to project? And all of this actually affects the experience. So your mood, your emotional state, heavier emotions, obviously, like, we are meant to have those and work through those and express those and integrate those, but it can make our energy more dense when we try to get out. Like, anytime I've tried to get out when I'm feeling grief or something, when you feel grief, you can feel the heaviness in your heart, and you feel that as like a tether when you're trying to induce an out-of-body experience. Of course, you still can, but if we're talking about the path of least resistance, energy is a huge thing to keep in mind before you try to astral project. Oh yeah, I want to tell you, sometimes when I listen to your video, I'll start to hear some type of radio station come through really strong when I open my eyes, it goes away. Wow, that is literally the liminal state. Yeah, like, you can listen to podcasts in the background, music, and if you're closing your eyes, deepening your relaxation, the audio in your physical environment can almost act as an anchor to help keep you just a sliver aware as you enter that deep state. But when I shut my eyes, it'll come back. What's happening too? Whoa! Okay, that's very interesting. Oh, that reminds me of a technique that I used for lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences. I recently made a video on it called Astral Project Using Sound, and it's basically imagining sound to induce an out-of-body experience. So if you have a song that you really like, for example, and you know it like the back of your hand, like, you'd be able to repeat it in your head. In meditation, the deeper you go, you freak yourself out because you think you actually can hear the song in your environment, and that lets you know when you're shifting your state of consciousness, because eventually it goes from, like, I'm consciously aware, I'm like hyper focused, right? And I can't get into a deep state. Okay, my thoughts are starting to slow down, and I'm able to more deeply relax in my state, or wherever I'm sitting. Okay, now my physical body's feeling relaxed, and my thoughts are really slowing down. Okay, I'm having a hard time staying awake right now. Okay, I'm now noticing visuals and flashes of light and maybe hearing a couple random sounds. Okay, now I'm noticing some really physical sensations in my body. Like, you'll notice this entire process that you're going through. And once you start to hear physical auditory sounds, like, that is a very good sign that it could be even minutes away from having an out-of-body experience, because I've been meditating for an out-of-body experience before, and it's like, I don't think that I'm even close. Like, I think that I'm still awake. But then right at the last minute, I feel sleep paralysis coming. Like, right as I'm thinking that, like, oh, am I not awake or, asleep enough or tired enough? So keep that in mind. These are poi, so I do have regular ones, but obviously it's more fun to show you guys these lit up. If you've ever, they're very popular at like raves and stuff, so you see people like spinning lights or poi, or they'll have light up gloves on and they're doing like light shows. The first time that I really started dedicating to poi was last year when I went to Hawaii and I saw traditional fire spinning. Oh, that shit was so fucking cool. I was like, wow, I for sure have to get into it now. And that's really how it started for me, was seeing Hawaiian fire spinning, because it originated in New Zealand, the Maori culture, and it was actually used for warriors to help them train for battle. So it started to help them train for their agility, strength, coordination, and then it was actually passed on to the women for storytelling and entertainment purposes, and like a cultural dance. So it's kind of cool. We're just about to say, remind me of Hawaiian fire spinning. Yeah. Chance has been spinning for years and years and years, and he got into it from the rave scene, and I tried it before, but it was really fucking hard. It's very weird. Like, even just this, like putting it behind my body, that felt so unnatural for like months. I couldn't even do it. Like, the way it works your brain is so cool, but yeah, it didn't truly click until I saw fire spinning for the first time, and I was like, I'm gonna spin fire. You wait. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm practicing for eventually, is to spin fire. So anyone who hasn't seen that before, these will basically be a big wick, and you can dip it into your butane and have little fireballs on the end of your way. Obviously, you want to make sure that you really know how to spin before you're doing that. So I'm nowhere near close to being able to do that, but yeah, it's very fun. Video live for a moment, then warps. I saw that on the video, and I wasn't sure if I just saw something random. Anime girl, you're like, I think that was nice. That looks pretty cool. Okay, I can't even remember all the things that I know right now. I never spin in front of anybody. So I don't even remember half the stuff that I've been learning. But I'm very excited. I'm learning how to do these, but behind my back. Chance can do it. I can only do one hand at a time. But you also have to train your shoulders to be able to spin in like completely different planes. Ow. And you'll slap yourself a million times. That's what I told Joey in the group. I was like, expect bruises everywhere for a little bit. Happy Friday, William. You need to learn to induce lag now so you can make more cool tricks. How do I do that? I guess go to the area I was before, since apparently that doesn't work very well. Should I try turning off these lights? Would that be cooler? Sorry, I have to watch the screen to be able to see your comments. Oh, she does? Okay. Let me turn off the lights, this little light then, if that's the case. 1 second. I'm coming. I'm turning off all the lights. Okay. Kind of off, but not really. Okay. I'll spin for you guys just for a sec, because if your daughter's watching, I want to do at least something. Keep in mind, I'm still available for questions. Okay, I'm just crazy. I need to do anything at once. It's fine. Oh, I gotta go. It's getting late for me, but I love your videos. I always use them to travel your videos. Oh, thank you so much. You're welcome to hang out anytime. Seriously, thank you for being here. Whoa. Wow. I'm in slippers that almost fell. I'm trying to think. I'll have to actually plan out a little flow for you guys. But yeah, anyway, thanks for looking. Um, Hell yeah, I know. We have no music going on. I actually had my editor make a whole lo-fi playlist so we could play with music, so I'll have to do that. Do the boys have color? Well, just like the fact color. Let me see. I know there's like an orange. Sorry, I don't know if I'm gonna have the fire simulation you're looking for, John. Yeah, right? Oh, I guess that kind of looks cool. Yeah, look how trippy that looks. Whoa, fire! I know, right? The first time I did this, I had the point too long and I hit myself in the face, so that's cool. Okay. Okay, tips on astral projection. I saw that. Okay. Don't worry, I'm reading all your messages. Okay, let's see. More tips on astral projection. Let me think. Obviously, number one, to work on your beliefs that you are more than your physical body. The fears, if you have any fears, sometimes that can create resistance on getting out of body. The right state, making sure that you are tired enough that you can relax deep enough into the state, but awake enough where you can maintain your focus, or set an alarm so that you wake yourself up out of sleep and then you can just maintain awareness once you wake up. Let's see. Oh yeah, eventually I'm learning how to juggle, and I'll be able to juggle 3 poi, and I guess I can't show you. Okay, forget I said it. I eventually want to be able to use 2 poi per hand, which I've practiced a little bit, but it's very tricky. Okay, more I know, I think it makes it probably more entertaining to listen to me, honestly. Okay. More tips on astral projection. Dream recall. Dream recall. Your dream journal is a memory building tool. So by practicing remembering your dreams, you're actually building your in real life recall as well. You'll be able to remember your grocery lists better. You'll be able to have more detail in your out-of-body experiences that you remember. And I just recommend writing down all of your experiences. So in the morning, before you get out of bed, writing in your journal anything that happened, even if it wasn't a dream. People think that in order to use your dream journal, you should only write dreams in that. But that actually halts your dream recall because it's meant to build your recall with every entry you make. Basically, when you're writing in your dream journal, that's what tells your subconscious that what you're writing is a priority to you, right? So if you start tracking what happens during sleep and kind of updating what happened every day in your journal, your brain's like, oh, this is a priority now, so we're going to spend more energy saving the things that we recall during this time, because clearly we're showing an action that means that we're ready to recall that information. Your brain really tries to save energy, seek pleasure, and reduce pain. Those are the 3 main key points that your brain does to keep you safe, and save energy, to seek pleasure, and to reduce pain. If it thinks that working with your dreams is not pleasurable, if it thinks that it's an energy leak, like it's actually those thoughts that you had, it's like, we don't need to write this down. That's actually coming from your brain because it thinks that you don't care about writing your dreams down. And so we can change what the brain thinks is a priority based on our actions that we take consistently. So every single morning, just picking up your dream journal, no recall. I didn't remember any dreams tonight. That alone shows your brain it's a priority to remember your dreams. And again, if you don't remember any dreams, no worries. See you, dude. Have a good one. And so even if you don't remember any dreams, just writing down, I woke up to go to the bathroom, and that's all that I remember. is perfect. And you'll notice just by writing in your dream journal every single day, even over the next week, you will start to have much, much more vivid recall. And again, this will also be waking life recall as well, like during the day recall. You'll be able to call your day back much easier. You'll be able to remember your grocery list or your to-do list without looking at them. And so your dream journal is the biggest thing that I recommend be consistent with. Like, literally above anything else, your dream journal should be your best fucking friend, okay? For real. For real, for real. At least you woke up to go to the bathroom. Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. That is so funny. I remember even when I was younger, when I would start to have a dream about going to the bathroom, I would like know it and eventually be able to wake myself up from it. But yes, very good point. Very good point. I'd say managing your energy. So again, what you eat before your techniques, how you emotionally feel before your techniques, if there's anything on your mind, if there's anything you're worrying about, all of that can come out during your out-of-body experience because you're in a thought-responsive environment. So not only could it stop you from actually getting out of body, but it could really affect the experience you have. And so really monitor your energy. And this is also the energy of your space. Create a nice, clean, at least a little clear space for where you are practicing out-of-body experiences. Like really prioritize energy when you think about using your energy body to astral project. Ask how you could like remove even more resistance in your energy field, whether again that is shifting your emotional state, eating something lighter, or having hot tea before you go into your experience, cleaning up your environment, or making your environment inspiring so it reminds you about your dreams. Like these are all things that would be very helpful for an out-of-body experience. Oh, you want to know another thing? Don't use pillows. And if you use pillows when you're trying to have an out-of-body experience, make sure that they are as light as possible, like as thin as possible, I guess, because if your head is like geeked up at all, any little minor discomfort that you feel when you are about to astral project, it is going to amplify. Like even if you feel, oh, it's a little bit, this pillow's a little bit too uncomfortable, it's a little bit too big, but it should be fine. That little discomfort you feel is going to amplify and be the only thing that you can think about once you reach a specific stage. Now this stage is called the rollover signal. This stage is when you enter such a deep relaxation that your body wants to check if the brain is awake. So what the body does is it releases a chemical to cause phantom itches, like fake itches, fake urges to move, urges to roll over. And during that time, that's when all of this discomfort can come out. So if you notice any discomfort from your pillows, from your blankets or anything, keep that in mind. Again, it's really about your comfort. You can totally astral project with having pillows. I've astral projected sitting up in a recliner. It just has to do with your comfort level in the moment. So if there is anything that is like annoying you or making you feel uncomfortable before you have your experience, make sure to resolve that before you actually lay down for your experience. Yeah, totally, John. Yeah, I've had out-of-body experiences. I don't know if you guys have seen my video where I had an out-of-body experience standing up, like a walking one. It was the weirdest shit ever. It's only happened that one time, and it was years ago, but I made a video on it. But this shows that you can really have an out-of-body experience in any state of consciousness. But if we're choosing to consciously induce it, comfort is more than half the game. Seriously. Comfort and awareness and being able to carry yourself to each phase without sending a signal to the body that you're awake, because it resets that timer, it resets that clock in a way, if that makes sense. Are out-of-body experiences and astral projection different? So the main difference with out-of-body experiences and an astral projection is the state that you're, like the state of consciousness or the plane that you end up at. So for example, when you first practice this, you are going to have an astral projection experience. Now, this really just means that you are separating your awareness from the physical body, but maybe you don't even leave the room. Maybe you don't even leave your body totally. It is very, a lot of the time when we have an out-of-body experience, we project in the room that we were meditating in, for example. So if you feel like you're slipping out of your body while you're laying in bed, that is an astral projection experience because you are projecting outside of your body. Now, the difference with an out-of-body experience is usually this is a more higher frequency state. Maybe you don't even see your room. Maybe you are with different entities, or you're in a place that you don't even recognize. And usually it's like a full journey outside of our physical, like, dense reality. Like, when you first start practicing this, it's very hard to even leave your room, like, because it's so thought responsive. Like, it takes a lot of energy and a very specific state to be able to experience crazier, more ethereal out-of-body experiences that aren't so close to our 3D reality, if that makes sense. So they really are the same thing, but an out-of-body experience is traveling farther outside of this realm. So you won't see things that you recognize as much. Like, you won't be in your home, most likely. You probably won't see your physical body. You know, you might be just totally shifted into this other experience that you just get pulled in. And that's kind of the main differences that you will see. It's kind of just the density of your experience, the vivid quality of your experience, and then the frequency in which you have your experience, if that makes sense. So that's another thing. If you have an out-of-body experience, and you will hear me use them interchangeably sometimes, but that is the main difference. Like, when people are trying to astral project while they're feeling grief, for example, grief or anger or something like that, you're going to probably going to feel a little more dense. It's probably going to be harder, perhaps, to leave your physical body, but you'll probably stay closer by, if that makes sense. Like, anytime I would have an experience when I was sad or when I was healing from my grandmother's death, I didn't have any out-of-body experiences. They were all really heavy, dense experiences kind of in my room. Or I would enter sleep paralysis and I would feel my body separating, but maybe it wouldn't progress too much after that. That's kind of the power of emotion, and that's kind of the power of, our energy. How often do you astral project? It really depends. I definitely have more astral projections than like out-of-body experiences if we're talking about those physical differences. But I definitely have way more lucid dreams than astral projection or out-of-body experiences, and that's just because they are easier for me to access. I focus on them more, and I don't do as many like induction meditations for out-of-body experiences. A lot of the time it just happens like spontaneously if I'm not trying. But when I was practicing, I'd say maybe a couple a month, sometimes more. Again, it really depends like how deep I was in my practice. The more I'm like thinking about it, the more I'm obsessed about it, the more excited I am to go to bed. Like, you totally notice that you have more experiences, or you're like more conscious in your dreams, and you're talking about your dreams with other dream characters. It really just depends on the level of energy that I give my practice. I will say that I haven't had one since I moved here, but that's also because I don't think I've done one meditation for astral projection in particular. It's either very focused on lucid dreaming, liminal dreaming, which gets me to that in-between stage where I can induce any of those experiences, but I think I've been more focusing on the liminal dreaming, the maintaining awareness on the edges of sleep kind of aspect of it, but that has given me random experiences that I haven't really tried to have. But since I've been here, I haven't had like a full-blown experience. It's mostly just been lucid dreams, liminal dreaming, really vivid dreams, and then really cool states during meditation. All I can focus on is that sick air fryer. I know you see it. Shelby was the friend I told you guys about that was coming to stay, so if you're wondering what he's talking about, that is what. But yeah, hopefully that helps you guys with that piece. I see the 4 minutes of full circle today. Does it help make it easier to lucid dream and astral project, I wonder? I definitely believe that we experience energetic effects from outside of our planet. I don't think it's just the moon. I mean, look at how the moon affects the tides, you know, and because we're mostly water as well, just that fact alone, I think that there is, especially since we can see that the moon can affect water. That is a scientific fact, and I think that is fucking awesome. And because of that, because of what's already proved scientifically, it helps us connect the dots of maybe what hasn't been explored, but maybe what is a possibility, right? Like the moon actually affecting how we feel, especially women. I believe that we just have a fucking witchiness about us, okay, that really, I mean, think about our cycles too, and the moon, right? I totally believe that we are affected by the moon, and I think anybody can tap into the energy of the moon, and it goes on to your beliefs as well. I believe that your belief is really what carries it. If you believe that certain phases of the moon hold specific power to you, or if you write in your journal in this specific way, it creates this result. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy that we can use to create better, more fulfilling lives. Like, even just the fact that I believe in magic, there's so many people that don't believe that synchronicities are real, right? Or that random acts of magic could just show up. And because of that, I believe that it's kind of affecting the filter in which we experience life. So I think that can be changed. I think it's different from person to person, but I personally believe that there is power to anything that we choose to infuse it into, if that makes sense. And what about your zodiac signs? I think it's more complicated. I think people focus on like the sun signs and stuff more because it's easy to access that information. My old friend that I had a business with, he was an astrologer, and we explored the effects of astrology and how to explore them within lucid dreaming, and he taught me a lot about astrology. Like, it's an entire, like, it's basically if you guys have played an MMO game where you have like a very intense skill tree, and all of those skills affect these different skills, and they're all intertwined. I believe that it's like that with all of the planets for all of us. I don't believe that our sun sign really just says terribly too much about how our life's going to go or who we are. You know, I think there's so much more that goes into that, but I'm not someone that like religiously follows astrology, if that makes sense, but I love learning about all these different ways of divination and self-exploration, and I believe that there's at least a little truth to all of them, or most of them. Doesn't our moon sign have more to do with our emotions? So yeah, basically the sun sign is the truth of your soul. For example, I'm a Leo, and so the truth of my soul is said, for me being a Leo, to be very passionate, to live very loudly, to be creative. On the darker side of Leo is being very self-critical, very anxious about how you show up in the world, and those are the things that I've had to work through over time in my life. And so we can see some insights from our sun sign. All of everything, I think, has some insights about who we are, but the sun sign is, more of who you are at your core. The moon sign is how you think and how you feel. It's the realm of your subconscious, so how you process and feel information. And then your rising sign, which is also known as your ascendant, is how others see you, how you show up in the world. So because I am a Leo sun, and a Leo moon, that means the truth of who I am and how I feel and process information is in alignment with one another. And then my rising sign is a Capricorn, so even though I don't feel like a crazy, structured, analytical business person, apparently that's how other people can see me. And that's not something that exists necessarily with how I see myself, but the rising sign is really about how others kind of perceive your identity, if that makes sense. But yeah, I know the basics of astrology. I don't think that we should give anything too much power over us, you know, especially like, oh, this is my personality type, I'm an INFP, or oh, this is how it has to be because I'm a Leo. I don't think we should live like that. I think we can take guidance or inspiration or knowledge from different places, and I think we can see how it fits and applies to our lives, but I don't believe we should use any of these things to choose for us how to be or how to live. Yes, totally. But yeah, those are the main signs: the sun, moon, and the rising. Chase, oh my gosh, hello! Thanks for joining, and thanks for checking out my videos. I appreciate you being a part of the Dream family. This is our new stream schedule. We're going to be streaming on Fridays now, Friday nights instead of Monday. So I'm actually very, very, very excited about that, and it's so good to see all of you guys coming to hang out. Don't worry about what I'm doing. we were testing the quality down here to see if it's possible to stream down here, and it looks like it works. It just looks like on the couch for some reason is choppy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here, turn the light back on so I can see you guys. I was gonna say so I can see your beautiful faces. We'll just pretend that I can. Let me see. Is this too bright? Hey, how's it going? Perfect, sounds good, Edmir. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you guys. But yes, I don't know exactly what time we're gonna be streaming. I think this time works fine. If we stick with the stream, then it will be 8 p.m. Fridays. And then, of course, if you guys are in the Telegram, we'll just talk about it. I'll just let you guys know before each stream on Friday what the time will be. And that's how I usually do it in the Telegram, but we will have a set time that we, work on sticking to, and then anytime we need to change it or adjust, we'll be able to chat in there. I'd like to learn how to heal myself through dreaming. Do you mean, okay, now I have a question on the healing. Is it physical healing? Is it emotional healing? Ryan, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. Because I don't know if you guys have seen my first videos about streaming on my channel, but one of the experience that actually got me into all this work was healing my digestive issues through lucid dreaming. Now, I had IBS, I had gastritis, I had ulcers, I had esophagitis. I was losing every single fucking job that I got. I would wake up in flare-ups every time I ate, every time I drank water, anytime I felt stressed, anytime. I was puking up blood. I was in the ER every fucking week. I was on 8 medications. I saw every single specialist in the state. Trust me. I get what it feels like to feel hopeless, to have chronic pain for years and years and years, to feel like your life is taken from you, to feel like there's something wrong with you, to start to build up resentment with yourself because for some reason you're not getting better and you don't understand why. Like, I never thought that I was going to get through that. I never, ever, ever thought that I was going to, let alone use dreaming to help with any of that. I'm like, there's so much to say on this, but I want you guys to know that it is possible to create relief, to live on the other side of that, like to be on the other side of your chronic, even if it's chronic pain that you've lived with. I'm telling you, one cool thing about lucid dreaming is they have discovered that we have access to the placebo effect. So those who say it's just the placebo effect don't understand the placebo effect, because it's our body's ability to heal itself, to release the chemicals of whatever medicine it thinks it's taking. It can release that in the body by itself. The placebo effect has been used in the medical field forever. And basically, if the customer, or not the customer, the patient, thinks that they're taking a specific medication that has these specific side effects, or will relieve these types of symptoms, if they truly believe that's what they're taking, even if it's a sugar pill, the body creates those chemicals itself. How nuts is that? Like, I'm not even kidding. That is so fucking cool. And that was my really first breakthrough in lucid dreaming, was that dream. Now, I've talked about this experience so much, and I have just videos on that in itself. So especially if you've heard this story a couple times, I don't want to bore you guys by going through the whole thing again, but I'm telling you, you can find relief. And I mean, it's shown that even mental rehearsal has been used by athletes for who knows how long, to make the shot, to practice before the game, to help teach their body what it feels like to make that shot. We've seen that mental rehearsal, and this is scientifically proven, mental rehearsal, or things you imagine, things that you dream about, and things that's actually happening, is all the same to your brain. It all thinks it's the same experience. That's why if you imagine a scenario of like, oh, this is what I would do if I got in a fight with someone or something random, you start to feel your heart rate get up, dude. You literally are putting your body in this situation of having that experience. So we can use that to our detriment, and we can also use that to our benefit. Now, I'm telling you, I was on 8 different medications. It was like the worst of the worst that my health has ever been, and all I had a chance on. So you guys can talk to him, because he was there through the entire thing. He can verify all of this. I have the medical records before my lucid dreaming experience, and I have the medical records after for my endoscopy. Before I had the experience, there was tons of scratches and like erosions and like blisters on the inside of my stomach lining. And so of course they just give you like antacids and like just pain relievers, and like, and I was so sensitive to all that medication anyways. I literally felt like a zombie, dude. I couldn't do anything. Like, I literally could not do anything. And eventually you just reach this point where like, fuck it, fuck everything, I'm gonna figure this out myself. I'm not spending any more money on these doctors to say, oh, I don't really know what's wrong, do you want Tylenol? No, bitch, I don't. Like, no, I'm tired of hearing about all this. It was I'm telling you, and it started when I was probably 11, and I didn't find relief until way later, maybe like 18 or 19 or 20. I don't even know, dude. No, it was not 18. It was way after that. I think I was like 22 or something when I finally I'll have to go back and look at when the journal entry was. But it's been completely different. Like, all of the things that I had to stay away from before, like whether it was specific types of foods or whatever like that, I can, like, the only time I feel this flare now is when I am in a situation where I feel super stressed or worried about something, and I'll literally feel my body go into like a flare up if I worry too much. That is the only time now where I feel that. And guess what? It was from that lucid dreaming experience. Like, and again, I will have to break this down again sometime, but for those of you who have heard it before, you'll know that as soon as I got lucid in the dream, a truck parked across the street and a guy got out, came over, and said, I'm here to help you heal your stomach like you've been asking for. What the hell? And of course, I'm not going to question it or whatever. I just said, okay, and just followed him, going along with the dream. And after that dreaming experience of that healing pool of water and putting my hands on my belly and thank you for my healing and thank you for my healing and like the entire process that happened, I woke up and that was the first day that I didn't wake up from a flare up. I like sat up in bed and I just remember saying, whoa, just sitting there like, whoa, that was crazy. And then I realized that was the first day that I didn't wake up from intense pain. And from that point on, I was like, well, let me just see how long I can go without taking these medications, because I obviously don't want to mess up whatever is happening. Like if I feel good, I want to be able to like ride that wave. And I haven't taken them since. Since then I have used dreaming any chance I've gotten to kind of touch up on my healing, if you will. Anytime I have a lucid dreaming experience, I will go through that process of like kind of feeling my belly. I will do the exact same thing that I did, putting my hands on my belly. And in the first dream, when I put my hands on my belly and said, thank you for my healing, thank you for my healing, the sun, like the rays of the sun connected to my belly. The entire dream started to shake and I woke up like, it's like I didn't even feel my stomach. I don't know if it was just, I don't know. It had to be placebo or something, right? But how long it's lasted, and of course, like like I talked about, I do my part with how I can take care of my body, and anytime I get lucid and have an opportunity just to touch up, I make that opportunity. But that's what showed me, oh my fucking God, I have to use my life. I have to use this life force that I've gotten back to show other people the power of their subconscious, to show people that they can change and transform their lives, that they can remove their biggest blocks and insecurities, that they can heal from heartbreak, that they can heal from physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, that you can map out the life of your dreams through your dreams, because when we're dreaming, we have untapped access to our subconscious mind, our dreams, our desires, our fears, our wants, our likes, everything. And you are conscious in an unconscious state where you get to see who you are outside of who you have been your entire life. You get to see the entire story of who you are yet to be, all of the passions and the interests and the things that you are going to discover way later in your life. Time is non-linear, and we get to experience the fullness of that when we are dreaming. When we're lucid dreaming especially, we can interact with our entire universe of who we are and discover that we truly are capable of anything, and we've been lied to when it comes to not having the power to heal, not having the power to create something that you never thought would be possible. And you know what's so cool? Once you start, maybe you have a breakthrough in a lucid dream, you'll experience synchronicities in real life that you experience in your dreams. How in the fuck? Okay? That makes it feel like there's some sort of deep divine intelligence communicating with you in your dreams that is still present in waking life, that can give you confirmations that you're on the right path. It's so crazy. Like, dedicating to Dreamwork has become such a spiritual practice for me because it has turned into something spiritual. It has allowed me to see the interconnectedness between where I'm at and who I desire to be, and it has shown me our untapped power, like our untapped potential is available to us every single time we lay down to go to sleep. And it's there all the time, but during the day, our conscious minds are so active that we don't have an opportunity to hear that gentle intelligence that comes through. But when we're sleeping, when we're just in witness consciousness, it can finally show itself to us. And I promise you, make an intention tonight, make a desire, make a request, and ask for it to show up in your dreams. And I promise you, you will experience something that will show you that you're not alone in this practice, that you're not alone in your dreams, that there's something deeper, more divine, helping carry you to where you want to go. And I truly believe, like, what was meant for us cannot miss us. And so if healing is something that you're looking for, if there's deeper answers or something that you're looking for, or if you just want to see truly what is possible through the realm of dreaming, just say that out loud before you go to sleep, I swear. Like, just say any request, any question, any desire, and watch what happens in your dreams that night. I promise you something's going to happen. And I hope that you guys let me know if you really do this. I definitely want to hear from you guys. But we're going to go ahead ahead and head back up to the room. I found your video right after I was watching a Sean video. How to talk to me. Oh, interesting. And it was so cool as my grandma, I hosted hospice for her 3 years ago, and lucid dreams and this entire practice is something that I've used to connect with her. And I can't tell you how incredible it is to not only be able to explore who I truly am outside of the version of me that I know, but also to be able to connect with a world so much bigger than we're used to experiencing. Like, to be able to smell my grandma's perfume again, to be able to see the look in her eyes, to be able to talk with her and spend time with her, that's like almost more rewarding to me than the physical healing that I experienced, because like my grandmother was like a mother to me, and we can absolutely use our dreams for building our intuitive skills for, oh my god, I can just go on for so long, guys. This is why I created like a billion courses and classes on dreaming, because there's so many things that I could touch on every single topic. Like, if you guys, I'm about to upload the entire course to Peak Audio, but for those of you who remember my masterclass series, I did an entire 2-hour class on visitations and connecting with loved ones in the lucid dream state and in waking life as well, and all the different techniques that I've used. And I just think it's so cool that wherever you're at in life, even if you're not a spiritual person, like whatever it is, dreams can meet you where you're at, because it's your own subconscious that you're exploring. So of course you're going to be able to find that guidance and support for the exact place that you are in your life. And I think that's what's cool, is the dream world doesn't bite off more than you can chew. It gives you just what you need when you need it. I truly believe that. And so if you believe that you're ready for a breakthrough, or you're ready for your next step in your healing, or you're ready to connect to a loved one that has passed away, just the intention, guys, don't underestimate intention. Because even just starting your day with an intention of how you want your day to go, watch what happens when you decide, when you allow yourself to dream of how you actually want to be today. Like, if you go into your day without any intention, any desire, any plan, who knows what you're going to experience. And a lot of the day, how we start our day is how our day ends up. Like, if you start your day in a negative mood, it's kind of hard to reverse that sometimes, right? We can start that day by choosing to believe in magic, choosing that the universe is going to show us some sort of magical thing today that is going to lead us to where we're supposed to go next. I promise you something will happen. I've been doing this every single day for the past, like, probably 4 or 5 days. As soon as I wake up, I ask the universe to make itself known in my day today. And then as soon as something magical happens, I'll be like, yep, there's the universe coming in. And every single time that I've done this, every single day something has come through. The first day that I did this, the idea of switching my stream around and having more fun with it came through. The second day, I discovered that there's tons of wild cherry trees and blackberries and raspberries growing in our yard. Like, that is such a beautiful form of abundance that I didn't expect, right? And just by stating your intention and then calling it out when you see it, I'm telling you, this is also, I can't get into all of it right now, guys. I'm going to bore the fuck out of you. But there's science behind that filter that we have, like choosing what you're looking for in your day. And as soon as you start calling it out, that helps almost solidify that perception of like, oh yeah, it is true. It's like when people are for sure that they have bad luck. They're like, yep, I have bad luck. I swear we're going to see it during the day. Watch, we're going to see it and I'll call it out when I see it. Something random happens, something negative that they associate with the meaning they've given to the experience, that they have bad luck. And they're like, see, that is proof that I have bad luck. What does that do to the brain? The subconscious believes every single thing that you tell it. So if you truly convince yourself that you have bad luck, your brain is like, okay, your wish is my command. I'm going to look for all of the evidence that could be perceived as bad luck, and I'm going to make sure that our filter sees it in every single moment of our life. Have you known people like that? I totally have. What if you play the opposite? What if you're like, miracles are so normal and random little magical moments are so normal? I know that I'm gonna run into one day, and I'm gonna keep my eye out for it because I already know that it's coming. Like the anticipation of something magical happening, I'm not even kidding, creates it. Like that anticipation is literally what manifests it. So when you anticipate negative experiences, or when you, like whatever it is, you're choosing to tune that subconscious filter, which is called the reticular activating system. It is literally a built-in subconscious filter that helps us see whatever we decide we want to look for. So if I tell you right now, notice all the things that are green in your environment right now. Look around and look for green. You probably notice it stands out all of a sudden. Like all of a sudden your mind now can spot all the places where you see green because that's what you told your mind to do. When we tell our mind to do something, it actually can support us in it, but we're so used to not doing that or feeling like we're a victim to our mind, we don't realize how much control we have over what we see and what we experience. Yes, you do, anime girl, seriously. And I'll have to share some of the stuff that I write on my wall about it because I start my day with like tuning what frequency I want to experience life on. And I'm telling you, back when I had all of these stomach problems too, I would anticipate the pain. I would expect the pain to be there. And it taught me so much about the power that I have that I didn't even know I had. So not only can you heal and transform your life through dreaming, but it will also show you the power you have outside of your dreams that has always been there, that it will always be there. And the moment you start believing in that magic, it's literally like Tinkerbell. People couldn't see her if they didn't believe that she was real. Like literally, I'm not kidding. The moment you start allowing yourself to live in that childlike, magical state of mind, the moment you actually discover, oh, it's real and it's been possible this entire time. So I say we should just stay young forever in consciousness and allow us to experience proof every single day that life is happening for us, that magic is real, and that we are always where we are supposed to be in the exact time in which we are there. So, okay, now we're gonna go back to the office, okay? 1 second, let me take a sip, I'm exhausted. I'm sorry for anyone who does not like my ranting. I think I'll always be this way. I just get super excited about what we're talking about, and I can get tired quickly. Then I expect healing or go back to how I was before. So what I'd recommend doing for you, anime girl, I want you to use the time in which you're falling asleep to shift to the reality where you just received your healing, like it's still new. Like as you're falling asleep, I want you to shift into the reality where you've already received your healing. Like as you're falling asleep, thinking about the relief and how good it is, how good you feel that you received this healing. What has changed in your life now that you've, like, I really want you to show your brain what that looks like and feels like. Because that is the biggest thing I feel like when it comes to creating the life that we want, is like, we don't allow ourselves to dream big enough to not only choose what we want to experience, but to teach ourselves what it feels like before it comes in. I did this every single night with my stomach. I literally fell asleep in the energy of like, oh my God, I literally cannot believe that my stomach feels better. Like, how did that happen? Like, I cannot believe I wake up, I feel completely normal, I can drink my tea, I can hang out with friends. Like, make yourself emotional about it. Like, feel the gratitude so deeply and feel the energy of that healing so deeply. I promise you will start to convince your brain that it has happened, and you will literally shift some of the symptoms you feel, even if it feels very slight at first. I so believe in your power to do this. I so believe in our brain's ability to heal, and I so believe in the request that you are ready for healing that will allow that to come in a little bit more easier. And I tell you this because I know what it feels like to feel like your life has been taken from you, like you'll have to live with your chronic pain forever. Like, it made me so depressed for years and years and years, and I literally couldn't hang out with anybody. It was a nuisance to everything that I did. And I think really like discovering who I am outside of thinking and feeling that way allowed their space for me to more easily step into that. And I promise you, if you start doing this before bed, you will start to dream about this as well. If you can wake up, like when you wake up and you go on a walk, any chance you get is what I'm trying to say, shift to the reality in which you've already been healed. Now, this is the same with money if we want to do this. This is the same with an opportunity we're trying to call in. Like, hold yourself like you just got the news that it happened. Like, that excitement, that like, oh my God, what? Because if you just try to assume the consciousness of like, oh, I'm healed, everything's fine, I've been healed for a while, your brain doesn't know that part of you yet. So it can be difficult for your brain to believe, like, for it to accept that information. But if you step into the reality of where it just happened, that is something that your brain can accept more easily, right? Because it's a new story, you're just stepping into the possibility of that healing. And I think it can help remove some of the rejection that your brain experiences when using this. I also need to learn how to relax the anxiety that might be getting in the way of feeling healed, like a distraction. So anxiety is just a sign from the physical body that it needs reassurance. Anxiety is a part of our brain that believes that something has gone wrong. And so the thing that happens with anxiety, we believe that we are anxiety, we believe that we are the thoughts, we believe that we are the anxious feelings, but we're actually just the one witnessing that. If we feel anxiety, it was already in us to begin with, and it's just coming out and being expressed. So the best thing you can do for your anxiety is to not be scared of it, to welcome it, to honor it, to allow it to sit with you, to allow yourself to breathe and relax into the anxiety and watch what happens. It will actually begin to shift. I think for people who have trouble with faking it till you make it, you can also start by noticing something small that takes you in the right direction. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was talking about with the subconscious filter. Looking for evidence that things are working out for you. Looking for evidence that relief is possible. And the more that we look for that evidence, the more that the brain has evidence to support that belief. And whatever beliefs we have really influence the feelings that we have, the thoughts that we have, and the actions that we can take. So really, not only tapping into what that healing can feel like, but also looking for the signs, like Ryan said, that you are on the right track, that healing is possible for you, and that you can feel better every single day. I love that you mentioned that, Ryan. Thank you so much for including that. But I totally know what it feels like to have anxiety. I still have anxiety. It's a lot better now, but it used to be like extremely, extremely severe. And once I started welcoming it in, learning from it, and knowing that it's something that was already stored inside, and me sitting with it, honoring it, and allowing it to come up will allow it to release. One thing I definitely recommend is Michael Singer. I listen to his talks every single day. He's the author of The Untethered Soul, and he focuses on witness consciousness. He teaches yoga and Buddhism like the most simple modern way possible, where literally anybody can practice it today, right now. And he helps when you feel a disturbance inside, whether it's from thoughts, whether it's from a feeling in our body. He teaches us how to access witness consciousness, how to relax into that disturbance, and how to release it, so we can create well-being that lasts instead of rejecting or denying something that's trying to come up, but we're so scared to feel it that we subconsciously push it back down, if that makes sense. The best thing you can do for your anxiety, for your discomfort, is to allow yourself to relax into it. We are not trained to relax into uncomfortable emotions, and that's why it stays stored. It's that resistance. We're trying to control how it comes up. We're trying to push it away. We're trying to store it back down. And so if you just, when you feel anxiety, if you can sit with it and be like, oh, hello, anxiety. I see that you are here today to join me again. I feel you in my belly, and even though it feels really, really uncomfortable, I love myself enough, and I love you enough to allow you space to be released. Like, you can say whatever, but really it's about acknowledging it's there, witnessing it, because that's one thing we don't do, like really give it our awareness. That's all that it needs. It's trying to almost get permission to pass through, if that makes sense. There's so many things I could say on this. I could also say doing a journal dump, which is basically all the worries and the overthinking that your mind has, writing it all out on paper, and that's that's when we can see how neurotic our mind is, when we actually write out our thoughts and our worries on paper, because then we notice all these thoughts, these worries that don't even apply to our lives. Like, you may see some worries that have been stuck in your head that are so silly that you didn't even realize until you wrote it on paper. I, again, can talk so much on anxiety. I'm actually working on creating a course for it eventually, but I'm telling you, if there's any specific questions you have with this, please let me know. Please join the Telegram group and let me know in there. I could go on for probably hours and hours about that topic alone, but I'm telling you, there's nothing to be scared of. And let me link you my anxiety playlist. I have a playlist that I've created on YouTube for anxiety. I have one for all of Michael Singer's talks. Anything you need, I will share my links with you. But I think it will really, 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 really help with anxiety. Really. Trust me. I totally get what that feels like. And I'm sure that's why my belly issue started as well. I was having like really intense panic attacks. And when we have anxiety, our entire body enters fight or flight. Our major organs are shut off. We can't eat, we can't sleep, we can't be creative. And so, of course, like, feeling anxiety is going to affect us so physically. But the moment you can create safety in the anxiety, that's when it really starts to change. Because when we're experiencing anxiety, our body doesn't believe that we're safe in that moment. Hello, when you were talking about having chronic stomach issues and healing, I felt like you were literally talking to me. I've dealt with severe stomach issues my entire life. Now, Megan, that's very interesting. Let me ask you this, because for me, it created, again, like IBS, ulcers, esophagitis. Basically, how I would feel is I would get really intense, stinging, stabbing pain in my stomach, really upset stomach. I'd be nauseous, throwing up. It would be like the word. It would feel like open like cuts or wounds in my stomach, and it felt like I just drank rubbing alcohol or something. Like the most intense, gnawing, sharp pain. And this would come from worrying. This would come from eating something. Oh, William, thank you so much for being here. I love you. It's so good to see you, and I'm so glad that you're okay. I've never had any lucid dreams before. What do you recommend? Lucid dreams are really hard for me for some reason. So, are you already remembering your dreams, Megan? Because if you're already remembering your dreams, we can easily turn those into lucid dreams. Really, it's just about increasing the awareness that we have at that point. There's so many techniques that I have for dream recall, so you can start remembering your dreams, starting to track the different patterns and stuff in your dreams, and then ways to infuse lucidity into it. But I promise you, this also applies to you then, Megan. Every night before bed, tap into that healing, like exactly how you'd want to feel. What does it feel like to know that that's possible? Like, I promise you, it feels hard and frustrating at first when you're trying to tap into a healing that you haven't experienced yet, and it can kind of make you annoyed and like, I totally get it. I'm trying to walk through my entire process of how I felt and how I am, because I probably only experienced truly for a handful of years, maybe 4 or 5. But I'm telling you, it was like the most severe stomach pain ever, and it controlled my entire life. Oh, you do remember your dreams. Okay, you're like more than halfway there. Okay, then I would make sure to write your dreams down in the morning as soon as you wake up. Just write down whatever you remembered from your dreams with the date and the time, and then just notice what you start dreaming about. You're gonna notice patterns in your dreams. Maybe you dream that you're at school a lot. That's one of mine. And basically, you were just creating little moments where you can become more aware in your dreams. So, for example, as I dreamt I was at school a lot, anytime I see a school in waking life, I'm going to train myself to ask if I'm dreaming. How this works is whatever habits we have in waking life, we start to see in our dreams. So if you start talking about dreams a lot in waking life, you're going to start talking about dreams in your dreams. If you start going on a lot of walks in waking life, you're going to start going on a lot of walks in your dreams. If you start asking if you could be dreaming and how you know, you're going to start asking yourself that in your dreams, which will help spark lucidity in that moment, and you'll become lucid. And once you are lucid, you can do really incredible conscious work. It literally feels like you are in the most vivid 3D reality game that you'll like all your senses are untapped, things feel more vivid and colorful than you've ever experienced in waking life. And our senses in waking life, they're limited because of our physical body. I can only feel to the capacity that my physical body can feel. Same with my taste and my touch, and hearing, but in lucid dreams, we're experiencing with our consciousness. So it's untapped. Food will taste way better than it's ever tasted in real life. You will feel more hydrated just drinking water in a lucid dream than you've ever felt. I'm telling you, it is like untapped true reality within lucid dreams. And that's probably why healing is so possible within lucid dreams, because we aren't limited to what our physical body can create or experience, but we're accessing such a deeper place than that. In one of my dreams, snakes. Oh, was it? That's very interesting. Do you dream of them often? Because yeah, any patterns or anything that you experience, I just recommend underlining them in my journal. And again, these are called dream signs. It's basically just signs that you're dreaming, something that's happening in your dreams that isn't a part of your normal waking life. So because I dream of that I'm in school, but I'm already graduated, I know that's a dream because it's not something that's a part of my normal waking life. And eventually this becomes a knowing. Like as soon as you start dreaming of the school again or whatever, you're gonna be like, oh wait, I remember this is something I'm dreaming about a lot. So this must be a dream. Like you start to tap into your waking life consciousness when you start working with your dreams. Now how to do this is just keep writing down your dreams, but keep pointing out where you could have gotten lucid. What was weird that happened in this dream? Oh, I could have realized I was dreaming here because I've never seen this person before. Like you're bringing your critical awareness into the dream after you write it down. And this will help create a habit of being more critically aware in your dreams as they're happening. So this is one reason why your dream journal is literally the most important tool, because not only does it help you remember your dreams and your experiences, but it helps you track your patterns. It helps you decode the symbolism within your dreams. Like there's so much that your dream journal can do. And without doing any techniques, like just using your dream journal, you can learn how to lucid dream. So start writing your dreams down, start noticing what you're dreaming about, and start looking at what's odd that you're dreaming about. Like what pieces are odd that don't even relate to your waking life. And eventually you will start to notice them while you're dreaming about it, which will lead to lucid dreams. So again, I have playlists on this. There's so much I could talk about. I wish I could talk to you guys forever on this stream today. But that's some places in which I start. Now this was the first time, so I think it was my dream, but I've had school dreams before where I forget my schedule all of a sudden, where I had memorized it. Yeah, dude, I've had dreams where I can't find my locker, that I'm like trying to find my class the entire time, and it's like just such a stressful dream. Or I'm like sitting in class and I'm getting in trouble for some reason. I'm telling you, I probably dream that I'm in school at least a couple times a week. So that's the biggest thing that I try to be aware of when I'm awake, because if I can become aware of school when I'm awake, then the next time I see it in my dream, I'm more likely to call it out as well, because I have trained myself to call it out in waking life, because in my brain, school equals dreams. If I see a school, check if I'm dreaming. You're trying to create associations in your brain, basically. And so that's a huge reason why your dream journal is going to help you so much for that. Okay. So audio doesn't work too well when I'm moving, so I'm going to go upstairs and I'll meet you there. We're going. Actually, oh, I know what I can do. I'll meet you guys there. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna end this and let's see if you you guys go in my office and I'll meet you there. Okay, let's see. Wow, it worked. It worked! Okay, that was more successful than I thought. I thought we were gonna have to come up right after I went down there, but it looks like there's it's laggy when I sit on the couch, but fine when I stand up downstairs. So at least we figured that out. Okay. Okay. Okay, just making sure I'm caught up with chat. But this taught me a lot about the software I'm using. I'll keep this in mind for our next stream on Friday. Let me ask you guys what you want to do Friday. It was more like a story. No, interesting. I like that it's like a story type dream. That's interesting. Definitely keep writing them down and see if you run into any similarities. Okay, yes, it should be more clear now because I'm back using my webcam. But that's cool that I can just stream from my phone and just switch the camera. That's cool. Back in the office. I wish I could show you guys my cool lights. I don't think you'll really be able to see it. I showed you guys my bookshelf, right? You guys see my bookshelf? Okay, let me try to can you guys see this? Let me see. Can't really tell what it says. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. So when it comes to the meaning of your dreams, it's crazy because the subconscious uses your associations to speak to you. So a snake can mean something totally different to me than it does to you. I would look at your association with snakes, for example. Is it like, what symbolism does a snake have to you? Does it create fear? Is it like a powerful symbol for you? Is it like, have you had any trauma with snakes? Like, that's the power of dream journals as well, is we shouldn't really be relying on dream dictionaries to decode our dreams because the subconscious is speaking so directly to us and the associations we have with the symbols that are showing up. So I would definitely look at the unique symbols that are showing up in your dreams and what they represent to you. Now, I always talk about this 3-step method to decode your dreams. Number 1, look for the emotions that are present in your dream and write them down. Number 2, the theme of your dream. So if you were running away from something, if you're trying to find something, if you were celebrating something, and then any specific symbols that are unique to you. Like, was your childhood home in the dream? Do you relate to snakes? Is that like a traumatic memory you've had? You're basically painting a picture that kind of reveals itself as you kind of dissect the symbolism out of it. So emotions, theme, symbols. And then piecing them together will kind of show you a story. That's how I work with my dreams. Even if you had like an experience during the day where someone said something that like pissed you off, you could have a dream all about that night, and it's probably likely that you will if you run into any situations that need emotional processing, because even though it was a moment for us that passed right through, we store all of our emotions inside, all the different memories that we have, and then they're processed during our dreams. REM sleep helps us consolidate memories. It helps us process and integrate emotional experiences. And so pay attention to the dreams you have, even after a little annoying situation that you had with someone, or, like, our dreams are just there to guide us wherever we're at. We don't have to try to like meet our dreams somewhere. That's what's cool. We're not like trying to become worthy of our dreams to guide us or support us. There's nowhere you have to try to get to tap into that guidance, to tap into the messages that are here to help you right now. And again, even if it's something small, like your high school bully reached out to you and tried to add you on Facebook, and it brought back some intense feelings, and you're just like, why are they trying to add me? What is this? What does this mean? And you're just like creating so much energy. That is most likely going to be processed in your dreams, probably that night. So anything that you're going through, just know that the dream is a guide. And we just have to unravel what the message is. And again, it was emotions, themes, symbols. That's my main 3 steps to decoding. Jason, what the hell is up, dude? So happy to catch you live. I have so many questions. Love your breakdowns. Totally unique. Dude, how's it been? Holy shit, I haven't seen you forever. Welcome, Jason. So good to see you, dude. I always believe I had a lucid dream. I just remembered right now because I looked at my hands and there was a mirror, but that's all I remember. I forgot about it until now. Oh, that's cool. Yep. And even if you don't remember the moment of getting lucid, that's a pre-lucid dream. A pre-lucid dream is where you almost realized you were dreaming, and there was something in your dream to trigger you to question. Like the fact that you even looked at your hands tells me that it was at least a pre-lucid dream if you didn't remember getting lucid in it. And that's exactly the moments we're trying to create. We're trying to just create more little habits that show up in our dreams, like even just quickly looking at our hands, because that is enough to interrupt the pattern of being unconscious in our dreams. Like, even if you train yourself again around the symbol of school, that means that you're dreaming. Like, eventually you will have a random dream of a school and it will immediately trigger you to realize you're dreaming without you having to do anything. The work is in the daytime stuff that we're doing. Like, people think that dream work is all about what happens during sleep and your sleep cycle, like, and then you just forget about it when you wake up. No, girl, this is a fucking lifestyle, okay? Like, literally, that's what allows us to get aware within our dreams, is by creating that awareness within our dreams while we're awake. Like, we can only shine awareness on our dreams from the outside after we have them, to train ourselves to have awareness inside of our dreams. There's no, like, when I talk about reality checks, sometimes people are like, but how do I tell my dream self to check if I'm dreaming? Now, of course, there's no way that, like, we could just be witnessing the dream and see that we're unconscious and just, like, signal to ourselves that, I mean, fuck, maybe, right? But when it comes to creating lucid dreams or creating the awareness within lucid dreams, it comes down to you making little habits that will show up in your dreams to help you remember that you're dreaming. It's almost like you're trying to get your dream self to see the glitch in the reality, but you can only send like little signs, little symbols into the dream world. But it's up to us to build that muscle when we're awake so that it's a natural part of our program when we're sleeping. Again, because the dream world is the territory of the subconscious and habits reside in the subconscious, it shows us that our habits are connected to our dreams, and we can create specific habits related to our dreams that we want to show up in our dreams. Okay. Dude, Lloyd, how's it going? You're just on time, dude. What are you talking about? I think it's cool that I think a lot more of us will be able to kick it together on Fridays opposed to Mondays at 5 p.m. Yes, okay, and we'll keep doing that exact thing. Like, literally keep doing that. How do we get past the vibrational stage? That's a great question. And I think when it comes to the vibrational stage, we freak out, we start to overthink, we try to not mess up the experience. Now, the biggest thing that I did to help during the vibrational stage was to completely relax. We don't realize that there's this, like, internal muscle that we're tensing basically all the time. And even right now, I want you to focus on your cheeks. I want you to relax your jaw right now. I want you to go down to your shoulders, relax them, like as much as you can. Go down to your belly, relax the muscles in your belly. Even if you're holding yourself up straight like this, relax everything. Relax every part of your body. And that shows us, like, we are carrying so much tension without us realizing it. So I go through this process during my techniques, but also when I reach the vibrational stage. I'll almost do a body scan really quick to consciously relax different parts of my body. Even our face, we're like clenching our jaw, we're like scrunching our eyebrows. We don't realize how much tension we're holding in the body. And a lot of the time, that's what's actually keeping us stuck in our out-of-body experiences, is too much energetic tension. So there's a billion things. I could make a whole fucking course on this, and I did that whole year-long group course called the Astral Project. Probably a lot of you don't know, but I do a lot of courses and group coaching and stuff, and I did a year-long course for astral projection and out-of-body experiences. And there's so many tips and tools and techniques and things that I could touch on. But so I don't keep you guys here for 7 hours, I'm going to try to simplify the biggest points as best I can. And it's really important to realize when we are trying to project our energy body or our consciousness out of our physical body, we have to remember that we're using energy. We got to try to relax as much as possible, release any tension. Now, I recommend doing a quick yoga stretch before your out-of-body experience technique. Drinking a hot cup of tea. Do not eat heavy foods. Eat a very light meal if you're going to eat anything at all. Clear out your space. Make it feel relaxing. Infuse it with different scents and textures, like really beautiful, comfortable fabrics that you can lay on. I'm telling you, set it up like you're creating a retreat for yourself, or like an event is happening. Create your space like you are initiating yourself into another reality, because that's what the fuck you're doing. Okay? That's literally what you're doing. And the more that you can see the process as sacred, you're going to prepare more, even just energetically and preparing your space. But your being is also going to recognize the importance you're putting on this. And I think combined with that intention of setting up your space and setting up your body and making sure that your internal environment is ready and having that intention, but also learning to let go at the same time when you're in your technique. Okay, that's another thing. I'm telling you, I have so many things to say to you guys about this. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm ranty. I wish I could explain how my mind operates when we're talking about all these things that I care about, but it's just going a million miles an hour. A lot of the time we can't astral project or lucid dream either because we're putting too much pressure on it. We lay down for the technique and we're like, okay, now I gotta relax. I'm gonna take 3 deep breaths. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna look in this specific area. I'm gonna visualize this until I get to this phase. And it's like we put so much pressure on ourselves that it creates this like subconscious stress, but also anticipation of what's supposed to happen. And as soon as we feel anything happen, like slight vibrations, or we start to see colors or flashes of light, our body's like, oh shit, it's happening. Oh my god, don't mess anything up. And we create more like tension around it. And so after you set up your space, after you set your intention of what you want to experience, right? After you set up your space, after you're ready to lay down and close your eyes, I want you to completely let your intention go at that point. You've said it, now forget it. Now the reason why this is powerful is because once you lay on that bed, you are going to tell yourself, the only thing that I want to experience is how comfortable I can get. I want you to focus on your comfort. I don't even want you to think about an out-of-body experience. I don't want you to think about a lucid dream. I want you to lay down, close your eyes, take those deep breaths to relax your body, but then focus on how amazing it is that you have time to practice this. How amazing it is that you are in a time and space in your life where you have a comfortable place to lay down, that you have time to focus on comfort, and that's it. I'm telling you, this does something so magical when I do this, because before it's like I almost stay too awake because I'm just like focusing on like when the phases are going to hit. But if I can let all of that go once I hit the pillow, and I tell myself the only thing we need to do right now is focus on feeling comfortable, and how amazing and yummy it is to be able to sit here and not have anything I need to do, not have no one I need to be, just like literally in this moment. You will notice your body relax so much deeper. You will actually reach the edges of sleep before you can even think about it. If you truly allow yourself to let go, that is really what helps me. Again, having that strong intention, having that vision of the experience you want to have, setting up your plan, setting up your space, and making sure you're good to go. But the moment you lay on your bed, you prioritize your comfort. You prioritize your relaxation. And then once that intention, that relaxation, just focusing on your comfort actually gets you to the point of the vibrations, that's when you can start to focus back on your technique. But until you get there, I would really just focus on setting up the space and making sure energetically you're good to go, and then focusing on how comfortable you can be once you lay down. That allows me to progress so much quicker, so much more smoothly. And then once you reach the rollover signal, if that's something you guys experience, again, it's your body's way to check if you're awake, and so it will send you fake itches, urges to move, roll over, and basically you have to almost fake that you're asleep for a few minutes until your body's like, oh, okay, I guess she's really asleep. We can kick on the chemicals to induce sleep paralysis. And that's when the vibrations kick in. So as you can see, there's little things you learn throughout it where it's like, okay, this is the time to relax. This is the time to keep my mind clear. Okay, and this is the time when I should start focusing on the technique. And even before the vibrations hit, something I like to do for fun is just to imagine movement. Like, imagine that I'm swinging on a hammock, and I'll imagine the sun like coming through the dappled tree, the dappled sun coming through the trees. I'll imagine like what type of fabric my hammock's made out of, and you will literally start to feel that movement. Like, these are all indirect ways of training yourself to induce out-of-body experiences at will. It's just an easier way so that your brain doesn't sabotage it. It's like a little trick around that part of your brain that just hyper focuses on what you're doing, kind of can sabotage it any time a sensation comes in or anything. But movement is like the biggest thing that I would say, because when we're inducing a lucid dream, I really focus on visualization, like what the world looks like, what it smells like, what it feels like, and again, mental rehearsal is the same to your brain as having the actual experience. So eventually you will start to smell the flowers, you will start to feel the sun, you will start to hear the ocean, or wherever you're imagining being. When it comes to an out-of-body experience, I focus more on physical movement from where I'm at in the moment, like where I laid down for my technique. So if I am laying in bed and I'm focusing on an out-of-body experience, I'm focusing on slipping out of my bed or moving away from my body. And I'm telling you, dude, you're gonna get frustrated, because you're gonna feel like you're actually slipping off your bed. Your brain's gonna convince you that, like, oh no, like my mattress is actually fucking tipped over. Like, no, I'm actually falling off the bed. And it's gonna feel so real. You're gonna wake yourself up and be like, oh my god, that felt so real, but nothing happened. I'm still in the center of my bed, and I literally felt like my whole bed was like tipped over. I'm telling you, it feels so real. And that's the biggest thing I recommend focusing on, is just getting really fucking good at creating strong, vivid visualization and the feeling of movement, or the feeling of sensation. That is the key for sure. Like, seriously. Okay. Ignore the itch and don't move. What about the hypnagogic jerk happens? That's not something you can really stop. Eventually that stops when you enter a deeper state. Now, guys, the hypnagogic jerk, if you haven't heard of that before, it's called scientifically called the myoclonic jerk. And why this happens is when you start to fall asleep, it's basically biological, it's part of our biological survival mechanisms to prevent us from falling out of trees. So when you're falling asleep, you will sometimes get this sensation of falling, because you start to disassociate from your physical body, and your brain's trying to make sure that you're safe and that you're on like solid ground or something. And so you'll every once in a while maybe get this like feeling that you're just like falling from the fucking heavens onto the ground, and it's really scary. But guess what? That's a sign that you are entering a deeper stage. You shouldn't really experience that too much like in the deeper parts of your practice. Oh my god, I remember this. I don't know why this was happening. It almost felt like the myoclonic jerk, but it wasn't. I would be like almost having an out-of-body. I would like feel the vibrations or the tingling. And then all of a sudden my fucking leg decides to just like jolt, or like I remember getting so annoyed because this was happening for like, oh my god, I don't know. And it was kind of when I first started to practice, but I'd like be like, oh my god, I can feel the vibrations, like some shit's about to happen, and then all of a sudden my leg just like spazzes out or something, and I would get like mad at my leg. I'd be like, bitch, you better not do that again. Okay. And then I get back into the stage, feeling super good, feeling great. I'm feeling the vibrations coming on, okay? And then what happens again? Like, I don't know why that happens. John, I don't think it's the myclonic jerk at that point. I don't know. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting annoyed at myself because I have so much to say. Another way to prevent this is to work out before your technique, but not like heavy, not like lifting weights or something. Just like stretch your body, get some somatic movement going, okay? This is going to help prevent excess energy from popping up at the worst possible times during your technique. It'll basically make it so your body is ready to rest and relax, and your body will feel heavier as soon as you get into your techniques, and it really helps kind of kickstart it. Mint Garage, I'm glad that you appreciate it because I feel all over the place more than half the time, and I guess I'm just learning to honor it. So thanks for being here throughout that. I just woke up from a nap, was dreaming I was cruising on a sick motorbike, and then I dropped a lens out of my glasses. What happened then? Is that where the dream ended? I'm so curious. I need to know what happens. What is somatic movement? Somatic movement is physical movement. So yoga, tai chi, qigong, walking, dancing, stretching, anything that moves the physical body can kind of help wring out any excess energy. I love to do like yoga before bed because it encompasses like building strength, flexibility, balance, breathing. Like it literally is the one-stop shop, okay? And so I do that before bed, and I notice I'm like way more ready just to like lay down and hold still, especially if you're someone who has insomnia and you feel like you're tossing and turning all the time. Doing some sort of like movement practice before bed will also help with that. My leg your leg randomly twitches every time? Damn. Okay, we gotta test some things out. Okay, Lloyd. I want you to try it before your techniques. Both of y'all. I want you to try focusing on leg day before your techniques next time. Just do a couple nice yoga moves and really to the point where you can at least feel that muscle getting tired. You know, when you're like, I'm doing little sit-ups or something, and you really start to feel that stomach muscle get tired. At least get to that point, or almost with that point, with your legs at least. I recommend the entire body, but since a couple people in here, including me, who have had these random leg twitches for some reason, yeah, maybe focus on tiring energy out within those areas, and just report. Again, all we're doing, we're running scientific experiments, okay? It's for science, okay? So test out something, the date. All right, this is what I did before my techniques. This was the result. This is what I'm going to do next time. We are just creating a hypothesis. We are running our experiment, and we are observing the results, and we are pivoting where we need to pivot. So, yeah, I hope that, oh, okay, Ethan, I'm just seeing your message. For me, I experience a super uncomfortable feeling in my heart every time I get deep into it. It's always so bad I have to roll over it. What do you think it is? Interesting. Can I ask you, when you sit up, does it actually feel like is it like a heart rate thing? Like, do you feel like your heart is beating faster at some random point in your experiences? Because that would happen to me right before I would like get sleep paralysis or something. I'd feel this, and it would literally feel like my heart just started going way faster. I'm not even kidding. I would literally feel it beating out of my chest, and then it would freak me out too. And so there were some times where I literally would stop the experience so I can put my hand on my heart and see if I'm okay. And guess what, bro? My heart, everything's fine. What I've looked into, anyway, I don't know if it's true or not, but some people think it's the energy center. Like, our heart is the energy center that becomes hyperactivated when we are inducing it out of our experience or moving energy in that way. I don't know if that's true or not. But if it feels like a really intense, like, overactive beating heart that you're talking about, I totally have felt that before. But one thing you guys gotta remember too is you're becoming conscious in the unconscious. I want you to know that we're all alive, okay? And you know what that means? It means that the body knows what it's doing when we're not conscious of it. But because we're carrying conscious awareness into an unconscious state, we experience a lot of stuff that we are not used to experiencing, okay? Like the process of relaxation, the weird sensations that we feel with our heart or our twitching legs, or like the urge to like roll over, you know? It's like all of this happens every night. Like whatever's happening in your guys' techniques when you're almost falling asleep, that happens without you realizing it every single night. And those who are scared of sleep paralysis, we go into sleep paralysis 4 to 5 times every single night on our own. So just know that the body totally knows what it's doing. You're just bringing awareness into the process and actually watching it happen. So it can definitely feel a little weird. It could be a little bit uncomfortable, but I promise you're going to learn every single time. You're going to learn something. Every single experience that you have, you're going to know what you want to try next time. Let me see. I almost poured this. I was like, ooh. Okay. 1 second. Ah, interesting. I had 2 people say you dropped your lens. I pulled up and then woke up. I wonder what that means. Only when I get excited or think I'm getting vibrations or something changes. Okay, Ethan, yeah. The uncomfortable feeling only happens when I'm laying on my back. I think you're experiencing what I'd experienced. Yeah, like, even seeing, like, let's say there's nothing happening in my technique, and all of a sudden I see a flash of light, I'd feel like that pit in my stomach. I'd feel like something happened, like, oh shit! Oh god, it's happening. You know, it's because of the pressure that we put on the experience. So that's why I want to emphasize to you guys, see how it changes your experience when you don't intend to like get out of body, for example. Like that could be your start intention, but once you get on the bed, I want you to just forget everything and be like, even if nothing happened, oh, this is good. Tell yourself this, because this will kind of relieve the pressure. Even if nothing happens, I am so grateful I got time to relax. Literally change the thought that you have about it. Because if your brain can sense that it's really about being comfortable and relaxing, it's going to be so much more willing to go into sleep. But it's because we're anticipating something happening that your brain thinks it has to stay awake for it. It doesn't know that it's got to go to sleep for it. So telling the brain to anticipate when something happens, it's like, okay, I'll stay awake for as long as it takes to notice that. And then the moment something happens, your brain lets you know, which is why we feel that drop in our heart or that feeling in our body, because instantly, as soon as something happens, our brain sends a signal to our body, which we feel is a sensation. And that's what causes us to think, okay, it's happening, places, everyone. So scrap the intention as soon as you lay down. Just see what is going on. Yes, it's iced coffee, anime girl. Changing my life. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining. What's going on? Okay. I just realized the little thing with lights is like, what do you think it was? It's pretty. You can't even really see it. Oh, you want to see? My mouse is the same. And my computer, but I can't show you. I mean, I guess I could, but you can't really see the cool lights in it right now. Let me see. No, you can't even see it. Whatever. Trust me on this. Jinx, you owe me a tea, Lloyd. That's refreshing to hear. Are you able to project when you go to bed, or do you have to do wake back to bed? So when I'm going to bed, I use that time to just practice maintaining awareness as I fall asleep, because I wouldn't, I personally wouldn't focus your techniques like right before you go to bed, because without enough sleep to fuel your awareness, like you were literally just gonna fall asleep. What I'd recommend doing is as you're falling asleep, this is at least what I do. You could do totally whatever you feel. When I'm going to bed, I will basically use that time to relax my physical body and just try to notice the point in which I fall asleep. I will just try to maintain awareness as I notice myself fall asleep. I don't try to stop myself falling asleep, but I practice noticing. I practice witnessing the process. When it comes to, let's say I woke up out of a dream or something, I would take that opportunity when I go back to bed to like meditate myself back into bed, and also to think about what experience I want to have. Because if you wake up directly from REM sleep, that probably means you're in dreaming sleep. And if you set an intention before bed, you could totally just go into a normal dream that's similar to your intention, or you could literally meditate yourself back into a lucid dream experience. So it really depends how tired you are, what you feel at that point. When it comes to inducing out-of-body experiences, for me personally, I've realized over time, and again, I used to wake up at like 4 a.m. to practice, and that's how I had a lot of my first experiences, but over time it stopped working, so I had to switch the times in which I practice. Now I do it after a full night's rest, so either like a couple hours after waking up in the morning, or I will take some time during the day to like take a nap or something, and then when I wake up from the nap, then I will practice. So you're almost trying to be in this state, and that's really what it's about. It's just being in the right state, and so whenever you notice you're in the right state for it, you can do it. But it's relaxed enough where you could fall asleep if you tried, but aware enough that you could go about your entire day. It's almost like that like in between. So I found like after full night's rest, like an hour or two after that, where your awareness is still soft and you still feel relaxed, but you still have enough awareness to like function throughout the day. It's almost like that fine line that you're trying to find. And again, it changes the more you evolve in your practice and stuff. So yeah, just totally play around with it. Let me see. When I try the wake back to bed method and wait 25 to 30 minutes, I just fall in sudden sleep. And if I sit for 10 minutes, then I also get into sleep. What do I do? Help me, I can't get the vibe. I would just change the times in which you're practicing, kind of like what we're talking about now. So this is one thing that I recommend understanding for like wake back to bed. Know what type of sleeper you are. Are you someone that has a really hard time falling back asleep, or are you someone that can fall asleep anywhere? I'm more on the other spectrum where like I can fall asleep pretty easily, but when I'm awake, like when I'm really awake, my mind will not stop. And so I've kind of figured out, okay, if I wake myself up in the middle of the night, because I fall asleep so fast, I need to stay up long enough to where I have enough awareness to carry into sleep. If I wake up in the middle of my sleep, the longer and longer and longer I stay up, I'm going to be more tired. So I definitely recommend getting at least a majority of your sleep out of the way, even like 6 hours of sleep at least. After about 6 hours or so of sleep where like you have enough sleep under your bed, like that is what is going to fuel your awareness. So you got to make sure you have enough sleep first, because that's what's going to help you stay focused. But I would just change the time in which you practice. So I would try during your later REM stages, like after the 6-hour mark. I would try a couple hours after waking up. I would try during the day, during a midday nap. On the weekends, fuck it, dude. You can do whatever you want, dude. If you want to stay up all night and just like meditate all night, like do it. Anytime you don't have anywhere to be, you can change your rules that you've set for your practice and your routine and just like mess around for the sake of practicing and experimenting, you know? So find out what your issue is, and find out one thing that you can change in your practice to work with that. So again, if it is falling asleep during your techniques, the only thing you got to do is make sure that you have more sleep before you try your techniques. And then you can just pivot that one thing, see what that improves, and then kind of act accordingly. Like really what we are, we're just scientists with our own practice. We are just discovering how to get to our results and creating a hypothesis of what we think will work and testing it out. That's kind of really what it is. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. Oh yeah, for sure. I had a lucid dream recently and I was so tired. I said, fuck this, and ended it. I've so been there. Or like I'm like in the perfect state to induce an experience. Or I'll wake up from my alarm I've set to like get out of bed, stay awake for a little bit and go back to bed to dream, and I'm just like, I don't even care, I'm turning off my alarm. So yeah, definitely you also got to be, I found that I have way more experiences when I'm passionate and excited about it. If it feels like a chore, or if I feel like I'm like nothing's happening, or I just feel annoyed, like it doesn't have nearly the impact that it does when I'm like anticipating it. I'm excited, I can't wait to see what happens, I can't wait to see even what my normal regular dreams are tonight. Like that kind of childlike curiosity really helps you out, and it will give you spontaneous experiences that you don't have to work for as hard when you just focus on setting up the right state. Like it's really not so much about the technique. That's why it can happen spontaneously when we're in the right state. So it's really just about finding what that is, what works for you, and what pieces you're having issues with, and just swap out. Like you can create like an Excel sheet, dude, about all the experiments that you're running, things that are working for you, things that aren't working for you, and the next thing you're going to try. Like however you want to test this stuff, you totally can. There's no rules to any of it. But focus on the state of consciousness you're in. Like that's really what it's about. People focus so much on techniques. Techniques are useless, dude, if you literally don't know the phases that your body goes through when you are entering a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience. Techniques are going to be useless if you don't even know what time to do the techniques, like, or if you have a hard time maintaining focus as you're going into sleep. Like those are way more important than an induction technique, and you won't even need to use induction techniques if you know how to set yourself up correctly for it, if that makes sense. Now that I've switched to YouTube on TV, I can see it. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. It's so cool. Let me see if I have my little... So I have some books in here. I don't know if you can see up here. I have some drinks. Oh yeah, let me show you this. I had this made from an artist, like a clay artist, for when I was manifesting moving to Washington. And I had them make Juno next to a little Washington tree next to the river and flowers. And this was basically what I looked at every single day to help manifest living in Washington. And look, I'm here. Yay, magic's real. But anyways, thank you for admiring my telephone booth bookshelf. I really appreciate it. And then I have tons of Florida waters in here and some sick books. Oh my god. Don't even get me started on books. I'll have to have just a little book stream sometime. I'll just have to share with you guys all my favorite books. Anyways, thanks for looking. After 6 hours, I don't get sleep. That's the problem. If I try in the afternoon, I get sleep paralysis, but I get more afraid that time because no person is present that time in the house. Right when you get sleep paralysis, that's the perfect time. That is the perfect time. So I know it feels scary, and I know it feels uncomfortable, but when you get sleep paralysis, that is showing you what time works. You are clearly in the perfect state when you practice it in the afternoon. If you can get sleep paralysis, that literally means that you are able to put your body to sleep while you are fully conscious. That is exactly what we're talking about here. That is exactly what you want. Now, when it comes to inducing sleep paralysis, the biggest thing that people really have to work on is the fear. It's something that's so a natural part of our biology that there's no reason to feel fear. And I get it, dude. It feels intense as hell, especially if you've never experienced it fully conscious before. Like, sleep paralysis is so intense. Like, the intense vibrating, the buzziness, it literally feels like you hit your elbow, you know, and that really intense tingling feeling. It feels like that all over your body times like 50. The auditory sounds, I'm hearing like low rumbling, I'm hearing like super high-pitched sounds, I'm feeling my body slightly like move, like it's almost like your energy's like trying to get out of your physical body. You can like feel a shift. And there's also this like energetic shift when you enter sleep paralysis. I totally get why you feel like nervous with it, because you can feel the shift in environment. It's so weird. It's like well, if you have a lucid dream, opposed to an out-of-body experience, they have different energies to them. It's like really hard to explain. Lucid dreams almost feel more familiar and like magical and odd in a way. Out-of-body experiences are like otherworldly. They're like, they feel more unknown. They feel more alien. They feel more unfamiliar. Like, we're so used to this earthly experience, and a lot of our lucid dreams are based in that earthly experience. That's why we feel more comfortable with them also, and it's because we see ourselves in our dreams. We see this identity, this persona that we're so used to. We see it in our dreams. But in out-of-body experience, we shed that. We shed that identity. We explore only solely with our awareness, which is who we are, but that's not who we recognize ourselves to be. And so it feels really scary sometimes, because you feel like you're just being pushed out into the open. And you want to know the best way to get over your fear with sleep paralysis? To dive right in. If you knew that the only thing that there was to fear was the actual energy of your fear, like, we'd be so much more willing to explore these experiences. Like, I totally get why you feel nervous, but I promise you, you already have the perfect time to practice this. If you are getting sleep paralysis in the afternoon, but the only thing that stops you from dedicating more time to that is the fear because you're by yourself, you know exactly where your work is. And I know it's scary, but this is where you're going to grow. This spot that feels uncomfortable, where you feel that discomfort, that's where the work is. And by working more in this area, you're just expanding your comfort zone. Eventually, you're going to be a fucking pro at inducing it during the afternoon. And guess what? If you've already figured out how to enter that state, you are literally minutes away from a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience directly from sleep paralysis. And so I totally recommend just exploring that fear, exploring that time of day, and seeing perhaps what it is about that time of day that creates sleep paralysis, and how you can create that experience in different times, like that are more ideal for you when other people are in the house. You know, it's weird. I also think that it's easier to have an out-of-body experience when there's not other people, like when there's nobody else in the house. Because there's been times where I've told Chance, okay, I'm going to go meditate and try to astral project. Like, I would do that throughout the entire day. Okay, don't bother me for a few hours. I'm going to go, you know, practice my stuff. And there's times where it's worked, but a lot of my experiences have been when I'm by myself. And I've usually had my dog in the house with me, so that like helps a little bit, because, you know, I know that he's with me. But I promise you, like, when you're having the biggest the best results, even if it's something that's really terrifying, explore more of what makes the results so potent at that time. Like, why are you getting such good results with sleep paralysis during the afternoon? What is it that you ate? How long is it after you practiced, you know, from waking up? Like what is it about the afternoon that creates sleep paralysis for you? Because girl, if I knew like at some time of day I could get into sleep paralysis easiest, but I would be reserving that time. I'd be blocking that time out of my schedule. And I'd be lining my bed with teddy bears, okay? Because you want safety when you're by yourself, that's the way to keep safe. If you're asking me, I've always done that my whole life. Like, I've always slept with so many stuffed animals or had so many near me. And whatever we truly believe, it can, like, that belief really takes flight, if that makes sense. Like, if you set up your space, even if you do a little prayer over your space, or however you want to do it in your room, to set up a space where it has an energy that's comforting, you feel safe, you feel support, even if you just take some extra time to set the intention to your space, whether it's with a teddy bear or a prayer or a cool stone that you believe can create a barrier of protection for you. Like, really, this is all about just easing your brain. You're totally safe regardless. But these precautions for protection are really just to ease the anxiety that we have about not being protected. But I want to tell you, like, these experiences, there are reports, the experiences for thousands and thousands of years, incredible experiences that we get to see who we truly are outside of this physical body. And that's scary to the brain, because the brain, like, the ego, it needs that identity to survive. And we're so used to operating from this place of identity that an out-of-body experience almost threatens that, because it's like, well, who are we outside of this identity? So I promise you there's nothing to fear. It's just your brain confused what's happening when you're in sleep paralysis, especially when we already have a fear about it. Our brain uses that to determine if there really is something to fear or not. So all we have to do is change the thoughts that we're feeding our brain about sleep paralysis, and we can start to rewire that. So maybe also do some journal work around sleep paralysis, or write out all the fears that you have about sleep paralysis, or what you think could happen if you got sleep paralysis when you're by yourself. And then look at those worries, see which ones make sense, see which ones don't, and then you can begin to rewire the thoughts that you think around sleep paralysis, and you can start to train your brain to know that it's completely safe. It happens all the time anyways, 4 to 5 times every single night. And you can start to kind of break down those limitations, because our limitations are only perceptions, and perceptions can be shifted and changed, which means our limitations can as well. So I just want you to know you are totally safe. I am so proud of you also for knowing like what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, and already knowing when you get into sleep paralysis anyway. Girl, I would be marking that time off my calendar so I could practice. So I hope that helps a little bit, but I promise you nothing's gone wrong. You're completely safe, and the only thing to fear within these experiences is that emotion of fear itself. I promise you, once you push past that, you shed that. Like, you don't carry that with you through all of your experiences. It's just like a barrier that you break through once, and then once you discover there's nothing on the other side of that fear, it was just that potent feeling of going through the veil of fear, you'll remember that, your brain will remember that, and it will change how you feel and experience future experiences. Okay. Okay, guys, I hope that helps. How long are we streaming? Holy shit, 2.5 hours. This is record time. Not really. I wonder how long the longest stream is that we've had. But anyways, yeah, it definitely seems like Friday nights. I'm already more talkative. Once I got out of my body through the dream, but I was afraid like I'm dead, so I myself snapped back in my body. I got this in 2019. After that, I tried this for 4 years, still never got an OBE. So I promise you, maybe focus on working on the fear first. Like, before you even practice your next out-of-body experience, maybe get to understand the fear of this experience and really start to work with that. Because I promise you, it's probably a subconscious resistance from that fear that keeps us stuck, because I also kind of felt the same. And I'll have to upload my out-of-body experience, like, affirmations that I created for myself, because once we can get comfortable with the thought that we are more than our physical body, that we can travel outside of this physical body, that we're completely safe, that this was intended by the universe for us to have these experiences, or else we wouldn't have these experiences completely sober without even trying. I mean, even through breath work, we can enter states of complete ecstasy through breathing. What? this shows me that we are designed to have these experiences. And the biggest lesson through these is to learn how to shed that human fear. It doesn't exist outside of this reality, and it doesn't exist outside of your ego. And our ego, again, is nothing bad. It's the identity that keeps us tethered to our physical environment to help us survive. But we don't need that really in these experiences because we're going beyond the physical, beyond the self. And so, yeah, maybe focus a little more on the fear and exploring that fear, getting to know that fear, befriending that energy, and seeing what's in there. Because I promise you, there's so many thoughts that we have that we don't know about that are driving our fears, that are driving our future experiences. And again, it's all based on stuff we've heard or experiences we've had. And so a lot of the fears we have aren't even ours. They're things we've kind of picked up from other people. So allowing yourself to write out all of your fears and allowing yourself to think about the worst case scenario in your out of body experience, like what's the worst thing that can happen? A lot of times bringing yourself to the worst thing that could happen, you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, well, like we see the delusion almost in our fears, where like, first of all, let's say that our biggest fear is that we won't be snapped back to our body. Well, what if I told you that idea was literally created by the church to stop people from exploring deeper states of consciousness? Like, what if these ideas of fear were strategically placed upon us to prevent us from there's even religions that say that yoga and meditation open us up to negative energies. I mean, meditation truly is just observing the self outside of the disturbances, outside of the mental chatter. Like, what could be found that's so horrible within peace and silence? Like, we really got to look at what these fears are saying, and if they're things we truly actually believe, or if it's just something that we heard is possible, because a lot of the fears we take on are other people's fears. But I do want you guys to know that you are 100% safe in these experiences, and I promise you the only things that you'll experience that can kind of really bring on that fear is anything that you expect or believe or intend, any emotions or fears that are already within you. It's just an amplifier for what's already within. That's why I always recommend really working with what's coming up, because just like a lucid dream, just like just like sleep paralysis, just like an out-of-body experience, these experiences are thought responsive. And so whatever we think or intend can sometimes immediately manifest in our experience. And it's not that those things are actually there. Like, if we are scared, we're going to, like, I'll give you an example. I had an out-of-body experience one time. For the sake of our previous conversation, I'll say an astral projection experience, because I just got pulled out of my body. So I was practicing slipping out of my body. I was in vibrations. I felt the pull, and I think I was doing the hammock technique or something, and I literally got like pulled out of my body. I didn't have a body at this, like, when I got pulled out, it was just awareness, but my awareness was on the floor. It's so weird when you start having these experiences for the first time, because it feels like walking for the first time. It's like you don't know how to get around, and I just remember my awareness being on the ground, and it just being like everywhere. It's literally like I was being like yanked and pulled everywhere. Just my awareness was like going in circles on the ground. I don't know. And I was right next to my bed, and I've always, of course, I've really worked with this as an adult, but as a kid, I was so scared of the dark. And this same fear came up in this out-of-body experience where I got pulled onto the ground. And I remember saying, please don't go under the bed. Please don't go under the bed. Please don't go under the bed. Because it was like it was dark under there, and I just remember seeing it in my vision as I'm like spinning all over the floor. As soon as I started saying, don't go under the bed, guess where I fucking went? I got yanked under the bed. But nothing happened after that. Nothing was under the bed. I was just sitting there. And then eventually it changed into some weird, you may have these experiences where it goes from like a lucid dream to an out-of-body experience, or you keep switching states. After I overcame that fear, the experience switched, and I never had that again with the dark. So it's very interesting. It's like, what we are scared to experience, sometimes going past that barrier in our experiences actually integrates that fear, actually integrates that energy. And being so scared of being pulled under the bed, I'm so glad that I was brought under the bed in this out-of-body experience, because once I was there, it showed my brain, oh, okay, and it's not even that dark under here. Like, literally, it kind of, once I got pulled under the bed, it was kind of illuminated a little bit. And that I didn't feel anything after that. That's what I mean. It's like we're scared of that climax of emotion, but what if that's the peak of it? Like, what if once you confront that fear, that energy, you actually get to witness it dissipate? And so I'd say it's a great thing for us to confront these fears, because that's us honoring that energy. It's us allowing ourselves to express and integrate that, so we can actually expand our comfort zone. Every time we confront a fear, we expand our comfort zone even more. And I recommend practicing this in lucid dreams as well. If you have any fears around out-of-body experiences, lucid dreams, they're easier to achieve. You have more control in the experiences. And even though it's easy to wake up out of an out-of-body experience, it's definitely easy to wake yourself up out of a lucid dream. And when you're lucid dreaming, you know that it's a dream, so that fear doesn't carry over in the same way. And so I found that using lucid dreams to practice things that you want to experience in an out-of-body experience, or maybe you're nervous to confront your shadow in the out-of-body experience. Maybe you're scared you're gonna meet your shadow. So guess what you should do? You should do shadow work in the lucid dream. Anywhere you feel fear is where you are supposed to go. You could tell based off the intense energy of the fear. It feels like fear to our body, but it's our internal being saying that's where the growth is. That's really what it's about. So if you notice any specific fear in any point of your practice, dive in. That's where you're supposed to go. Exactly where the discomfort is. And you will really experience some powerful shifts. So our shadow, you may have heard of this from Carl Jung, for example. Our shadow is everything that we have denied, suppressed, disowned, or rejected. This could be an experience. This could be something that we feel about ourselves. It could be a trait or a hobby that we have. It could be anything that you don't want to show the world, anything you don't want people to know about you, anything that you try to forget, or anything you feel shame or regret about. Like, all of that, everything that you want to hide into the shadows, basically, is your shadow. And we all have one. And we also have what's called the golden shadow, which is basically our positive traits that we love, but we feel shame for some reason. For example, maybe your parents told you that being a smartass was something to hide. Like, maybe you were very intelligent as a kid, but your parents made you feel shame about your intelligence. Or maybe you were discouraged from being creative as a kid. Maybe you really wanted to sing, but your caretakers told you that you couldn't sing, that you were a horrible singer, and you should totally forget about singing. Something that was a passion, something that was an interest, is now put into your shadow. But it's the golden shadow. It's the parts of us that are meant to be expressed. It's our talents, gifts, skills, and abilities that are meant to be cultivated. Anything that we reject or aren't willing to look at or integrate, or that makes us feel uncomfortable, is kind of put into this shadow. As it's an archetype. It's a literal archetype that you can experience when you're lucid dreaming. You can work with it when you're awake. I have a whole masterclass on shadow work and lucid dreaming with shadow work. If any of you guys are interested, I have literally like a class on everything we're talking about. I know we've covered so much in this live stream already, but working with that energy, that is like the root of your fears. That is like the root of your discomfort. You can't go really deeper than the shadow within yourself. And so if you get comfortable with working with the shadow, what is there to fear within your lucid dreams and your out-of-body experiences? You've made friends with the deepest parts of yourself that have felt rejected or disowned, and so you're really teaching yourself to be comfortable in the discomfort. And that is the biggest thing that you could do for your whole fucking life. Whether it is like you're working on healing from your anxiety, or whether you have fears around these experiences like lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences, working with your shadow is really about integrating like the deepest part of yourself. And so I totally recommend even calling out to meet your shadow within a lucid dream and seeing what happens. Oh, of course. Thank you so much for being here. Much love to you too. I really appreciate you being here. I heard of shadow work but never looked into it too much, but I think it's what I've been doing the past 2 years, constantly improving myself and ironing out any kinks and flaws I have. Yeah, and like being willing to look at those, like some of the things that you don't even want to say out loud, you know, like being able to write these things down in a journal and like witness them, it's literally just that can integrate a part of that energy. Like mirror work, oh my god, you could do mirror work around shadow work, and it's like looking into your own eyes and stating out loud the things that you don't want people to hear, the things that you don't want people to know, the things that you have a hard time accepting about yourself even. Looking into your own eyes and doing this work, oh my god. It is bringing up everything you have pushed down. It is finally taking the bottle cap off and allowing everything to come up in which has been stored inside for who knows how long. And you'll know when everybody has a shadow, and it's nothing to be ashamed about, but you'll know when your shadow needs attention because you will feel disturbance or discomfort. Maybe someone says something and you feel a pit in your stomach after you can feel when your shadow gets uncomfortable. And guess what? That is where you will meet the fullest part of yourself, is in those deeper places where we don't want to go. That's what I love about lucid dreams specifically, is like it allows us to explore all these really deeper parts of ourselves, but in a way that feels welcoming, a way that feels manageable, if that makes sense. But when I get high, I don't remember my dreams and just fall into unconscious behavior. Yeah, cannabis suppresses REM sleep. So when we smoke weed, we basically go into deep sleep and we totally bypass light sleep and REM sleep. So if you are a cannabis smoker or you're using a lot of THC products, you will notice that you go into deeper sleep and not REM sleep. But as soon as you take a tolerance break or whatever it is, you will notice the next few days, especially if you practice writing your dreams down, you will get your dream recall back like no other. And so stronger too. When you stop smoking weed, you have a like higher, more vivid REM sleep for a little bit. And so you could totally use that to get back into your practice. But yeah, totally normal. You are not alone. That's probably one of the biggest things too in the community that people ask about. I was actually going to make a more recent video on it. I have an older video on it, but people wanted to know if stoners can still lucid dream. And girl, yes, the fuck, we can. And there's lots of ways to do it. You just have to, self-discipline is a huge piece of it, obviously, because it's very hard for cannabis and lucid dreams to coexist next to each other. You have to basically give them each their own time. Again, even if you smoke in the morning, you may still remember your dreams at night, but it's going to be very hard to lucid dream while you're in what's called an addiction cycle, which literally just means daily use of cannabis. Once you can create a tolerance break, or maybe you dedicate to only smoking on weekends, like once you figure out a flow that works for you, where you notice that you're still having dreams come through, then you can kind of play around with it. But yeah, in an addiction cycle or with daily usage, it's basically almost impossible to really scale your experiences. But yeah, I hope that this helped, guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. I can't believe we've been going live for 3 hours. And I'm just so grateful to have you guys here. We're definitely going to be doing more streams Friday night. And Lloyd, I actually have a PDF that I got from some sort of college or something. They did like a whole guide on taking a tolerance break. If you want, I can send you the link to it. It's super cool. It tells you how to literally break down each week. The first week is physical, the second week is emotional, and then the third week goes into like spiritual. And it's just a way to stay strong through the urges. It's a way to recenter yourself back into the habits that you care about. And I don't know, I found it very helpful. So if that's something you want, I'll post it in the Telegram group and you guys can check it out. I know, it's 11:11. Okay, everyone make a wish. Make a wish right now. Even if it's not 11:11 where you are, make a wish. And now, tap into the reality in which it exists, because anything and everything is possible, okay? And I believe it doesn't just have to be on 11/11 you can make a wish. I heard from Aurora, if you guys listen to Aurora, she said that she believes there is a wish inside every apple. And before you take a bite of an apple, you close your eyes and you make a wish on it first. That's because apples are they're so magical. I mean, look at all of the fairy tales that have to do with apples, all of the myths and lore and legends about apples, and there's this potent sacredness around the energy of an apple. And truly whatever you believe to be true, kind of begins to create your reality. And so not only on 11/11 should you make wishes, but maybe every single time you eat an apple, every single time you see a little heart, whether it's in the clouds, or have fun with life, guys. Literally, you make your own rules, okay? Have fun. I had Candy's apples yesterday. Oh my god. Okay, well, start going through all your wishes. It's never too late. Start sending them out for each apple. Oh, that sounds so good, dude. Oh my god. Alright, guys. Well, I love you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate you guys listening to me talk for so long. What the hell? I don't know how you guys do it. But thank you. I can already feel my voice doing something. Anyway, love you guys. We will be back Friday. We're Friday night streamers now. How does it feel? I think it's going to be pretty cool. We'll probably stream around the same time, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and if it changes, I'll let you guys know in the Telegram group, but I will see you guys soon. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you have an incredible weekend, and make sure to check out the second channel, the Lucid Mystic Sleep Music, for your nightly lucid dreaming and out-of-body experience sleep music. I release 11-hour tracks every single night with black screen. Every single one is carefully created for you. I hope you like the track I released tonight. Go head over there and check out the library of content I've created, and I'll see you next week on this channel. I love you guys so much. Bye. Sweet dreams. Sweet lucid dreams. Write your dreams down in the morning, okay? Okay. Bye.